Thank you, Zeke, and that's right.
Let's
Looking at the
go.
roster, it does seem like we are looking at a very top-heavy type of group staging here. But Jacob, as we saw yesterday, there are going to be people inevitably that could pull that victory royale through and make their first finals.
Yeah, I feel like almost the trend throughout the two groups. A lot of those top-heavy teams that you expect to get those victory royals have not been doing that. They've been qualifying through consistency, and we
Let's
get the
go,
chance
beep,
to see
beep.
if that trend continues because game number 1 is ready.
Beep, beep.
This is it right here, the start of the last group stage, and by any means, Monster, is nobody's FNCS over today, but it is going to get exponentially harder having to go through that last chance qualifier. So if you don't want to have to go through all that
Get a chat. Last group for AU and NA.
Other division gets to
Group
access,
3.
it is right here.
We got a big group chat. We got Pollo's team in here. We got Khanada's
Khanada's
team in here. We got Reet's team in here. Got some big ones. Oh, Bolka Tyler. What the hell is this spawn fight?
A little bit of action. The shiny shafts might have some players looking to be contesting there as well. So all in all,
Oh, we already won? No.
this is just the start.
What is
for
happening?
A few and the end for others as
Oh, the duo's running. They're running. Get him.
Kick things off here. Find themselves a quick elimination here to kick.
Yeah, apparently Scuffy's team didn't load in.
And Cully out of the drop here. And all of a sudden now, they seem to have the strong lead.
I would say for a quick moment, but they're able to turn around, get a knock onto at least once, but it comes at a sacrifice. Another one of those players are going to go down, so that just kind of means that Solo just has a long road ahead of him if he's going to get his teammate back into the game, especially since
Ooh, Chaos, nice.
The team that landed
Oh
there
my gosh.
contested is now moving
Arc on the board, baby. But I mean, Chaos is con, that means. Whoa, what the hell? Wait, why'd the sun just come up so quick? What's happening? Oh my god, what the fuck? The time of day is changing. Oh my god, what the?
You have a chance,
I'm so confused.
Bowl cut Tyler now needs to go ahead and resituate himself.
Are you
here.
buck?
It's just one of those tough situations because they're not landing on an actual POI. They're landing at a split drop where all of their loot comes from that actual spot where they land at. And then
Oh no, Chaos is surprise con. Wait, we win? We win those though, baby. Don't contest. Wait, another team with triple cons? Oh, hell no. Oh, heck no. Frick on him, Noah.
Immediately starting to ruin all this fun.
Noah plays
Frick him up.
that he continuously is improving himself off these draw spots.
Yeah, Fierce Ace Prime for 2. Oh, it's like that one, Mertz, yeah. Well, we went from being uncon to triple con.
Kind of return here and looking to be in pretty decent form. However, can't time that third party any better than that. That team is going to be pretty happy about this quick pickup here. Cass is going for a very risky potential pickup there. We'll see if that ends up being successful.
Ooh, this is 80.
The man of the hour. Azers, Acorn, and Pollo, this team right here.
It's actually Ages, Chad.
Set up to
Ages, Acorn, and Pollo also played Group 3 last season, qualifying by winning Game 2.
You know, of course, we'll be in attendance of the Global Championship, but we all know.
Why did DC quit comp? DC Awesomer? I mean, he worked really hard, made his first grands, and then made $0 after making grands. So I can't really blame him, man. It's kind of tilting.
That Seaport fight, you know, if you look at the drop map before the tournament actually
Hey,
started,
Hokage with a pride for 31.
it was supposed to be uncontested, so already things changing up before game 1 as it starts. As you see, brutal boxcars, the mountain that a lot of teams kind of hunt for Surge is already going to be occupied by 2 different teams.
Man, the tree's really pretty
Showing how
along here,
proactive
huh?
Everybody is trying to be in order to get that Surge because it allows for
This
a
game
lot
really
of
is so beautiful on high
flexibility
settings.
game plan. We saw it throughout last weekend's Group 1. We saw it yesterday in Group 2. If you have a lot of Storm Surge, you're going to have a lot of flexibility as we jump on board Sphinx. Khanada bolts uncontested at Hopeful Heights, which means they get the surrounding land as well.
Definitely a pretty solid draw spot for them right here. Plenty of territory to work with. Teams contested off to the north make this even better for them for their rotates a little later on. We'll see how that ends up happening out.
Ooh, still the fight out inside the vault. Oh, no chaos. Casanova 2v3. Wait, Kaz got out?
Take this fight on favorable terms for themselves.
Mike Bot and Logan Bot, we got some fans.
Maybe you would have thought
Oh.
kind of backed out, but Logan putting up a great fight there. Will end up winning
Ow.
it. Trades
Damn.
on Noah's side. Unfortunately, gets him sent right back to lobby, and we'll just have to hype him up for the next game. Round 1 for now is over for them.
Damn. That's
Hey,
unfortunate.
it happens to the
Heck.
best of us, right? Can't make the best
Flippin'
decisions
heck.
all the time. Sometimes you got to risk it.
for the biscuit.
In the end, Noah's going to have to hit the...
I just see my top 5. I don't know if I'm going to regret this, but...
Yeah, going in the top are uncontested. So
Aoxy, Jojo, and Pikes are one of only 2 trios in Lobby who played Chapter 6 Season 1 finals together.
Aoxy, Jojo, Fishy, and Pikes are one
I like that. I like that. That's backing my confidence. It's good.
Together in last
Chemistry.
Season's
Loyalty.
And you know, one of the other teams yesterday that stayed together.
I'm not feeling too great about that, though.
Before play-ins, that was our Game 1 winner, Muzz, Yapko, and Rise yesterday. So hopefully a lot of that chemistry, being able to build it over months' time, really proves to be worth it.
Yup, I like that.
Around a lot of these early game fights, and already today in this Group 3 monster, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like the action is flowing just a little bit more quickly than our previous 2 other groups.
Yeah, things are off to a pretty fast start, if I do say so myself. Look, 3 teams.
I mean, it's hard to go much slower, man. Some of these groups have been slow to start. Oh my god.
Touching zone number 2, so the action is definitely on par for the course here. Take a look at onsite Skizor. Looking pretty well on site, playing these side angles here, fishing.
Ooh, I like this pro.
Let's call him triple low. Looking for.
No, it's ooh. Come on, Monster, get into it.
Yeah, and they know being this isolated at the map.
Each happened, Prime 41.
Just outside of Shogun Solitude, Canyons Crossing, a lot of teams that desperately need surge.
That was fire. Thanks, bro.
Begin to try to hover over areas like this to try to look off the mountainside. So
everyone's saying dot, because they're laughing so hard they can't even type anything.
Might be Hido going to choose to kind of disengage, especially with the zone moving towards the north. They can think.
When's my tournament? Later today, man.
We played it smart. We get a good spot in towards zone. That surge will be able to come to us with a well-placed surge.
8.5 hours.
Yeah, both teams opting to go ahead and move out there.
Ooh.
Ooh. Nice little tag here. So Laze's trio unsuccessful after winning their drop fight. Taken down pretty quickly by that Whiffy Wharf team, so they didn't let up the pursuit here. Kind of lingering in this area. Bullcut Tyler's team as well haven't quite disappeared just yet either.
Yeah, good practicing safe pro-am. Played some creative endgame. Lucky made me a map which has like reload loophole, and we're playing late game with viewers, which is good. First lobby was good, got some stream snaps in the second lobby, but it was pretty good. I'm gonna work on my endgame decision making, man.
In these types of settings,
I got to clear off the endgame brain fog. You know,
this is a great place to find tags. They have controlled the high ground as well. It's the most prime position to be in for the time being here.
It is still pretty early. I think they land over towards the Kappa factory, and that's where they're kind of rotating in, following the zone towards the north. My only question is how much storm.
These Sphinx wins game 1. Definitely one of the favorites to do so. What do we got? What's this zone looking like? More of like a south. No, it's northwestish zone. Looking at Reet to win this then, maybe, honestly.
Taxi, Roxanne, and Tenke.
My tournament solid? No, I'm running a squad tournament today, chat. Invite only, 15,000 Australian dollars. 10 squads of OCE pros playing Reload. It should be fun, man. 4 games. So 15 grand in 4 games, man. It's going to be spicy. I'm excited.
Any open opportunities with a knock.
If you guys missed it, I'm going to turn it into a YouTube video.
Here, Daxy's going to get tagged first. Things starting to turn around here for Tonkacito's trio. And do notice there's one trio in the distance, just kind of watching what's unfolding here, but there's such a huge catacomb of builds right now. I don't expect them.
Catacomb of builds. Am I playing it? Nah, I'm hosting it, man.
Situations, whoever has their backside to that zone is going to be the main targets if those boxes break through. But you see the natural
8.5 hours from now, chat.
Side of the map covering up some of it. So it's not going to be as easy of an angle that they have. And you see that second player of that third party starting to look elsewhere. He doesn't want to waste too much time. They are spread out. They are trying to get Surge. Maybe even trying to farm up just a little bit inside of Brutal Boxcars. As this fight is going to slow down. And I like the decision for both of these teams to kind of disengage. Because you saw the resources. They do have heals. But it's the materials that they're lacking. And it's a heavy lack of materials.
Well, the action's still continuing here. On the east, now on the west. Carbon and
hey, Augusta with the Prime 5 thing, dude.
In a fight up against Reet, KSM, and Liquid on the other side here. This is going to really end up pushing the Surge pretty high now, though, as does seem like this...
I'm only at 13 die. This is like...
They're not coming to an end for most of these trios. Even this one here. Really, I think almost telling, right, of the type of roster that we have. There's a lot of players that this is for their first time maybe a chance, right, at making it to a grand finals lobby. So we're seeing a lot of disengages, a lot of fights not necessarily
a lot of
find their way
nerves
to conclusion.
Definitely a lot of nerves here.
And that's going to have its effect here.
Yeah, I think a lot of players that don't necessarily know what it feels like just kind of trying to play it very, very carefully, especially when those resource count starts to dwindle. You saw a lot of materials in those stacks fight going right out of the window, and they're kind of forced.
This team should qual too. This is one of those teams I think should qual. Surely Diego makes grants here.
Make it exponentially not harder, not only to get the surge, but to disengage when they finally want to. So you're seeing a lot of those early decisions coming out, and it's obviously going in the hand of disengage. 82 players still left alive, 28 teams still left in this. And if it continues,
wow, this game is stacked.
We're going to see
holy, this game is stacked.
And sooner than later in this altercation, if you're not prepared and you don't have that surge, it is not going to be easy to survive.
Well, yeah, Acorn and Agers talking about surge. They need to do something big here as well. They found themselves already on top of this congested seaport city here. There was several teams already in a standoff. Agers the first to cut past them, so they're going to put some teams in between them now, but we'll see how it ends up playing out for them. Pollo's got full sight lines on this trio here. They know he's there as well.
Oh, come on, Pollo. Come on, Pollo.
Just taunting at the moment.
And this has kind of been the strategy for Acorn, Agers, and Pollo almost all season long. Since kind of reforming, Pollo joining the boys back, is they land Mass Meadows uncontested. They may not necessarily get everything they want out of the black market, but they're able
What's your suggestion? Otherwise, anxiety. How else would you do it, bro?
They're able to hover back and stay in zone much longer than a lot of these other teams because they have a lot of.
That's just how it works, man. The 33rd best team on NA and the first best team are just on different levels, man. There's no format where teams aren't going to get rolled in grands.
That's why you see Agers currently going for elevation on the top of Seaport City because they know they can outlast them in the zone if it comes down to it.
Ooh, taking high ground.
On tight Skizor end up pushing this team off the high ground. Off they go with the kneecappers. Quick rotate, quick disengage happening here, but this is all storm action right now, and you can see the effects of the surge potentially looming about.
What's up, Patrick? Doing well, man. How you doing, homie?
Those are just artifacts of the storm there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Kyron. Thanks for tier 1 for 6, bro.
At the mercy of that black market surge base. They're gonna have to figure out if they want to go west around it, then kind of move north. If they want to go east and then move north there. But if they go east, there's a lot more teams stacked up on that side of the lobby. Decisions, and those little intricacies that are breaking out as Khanada, Bolts, Sphinx finding their way up towards pump power. Not in the zone just yet. Kind of biding their time, and I like this trio. You got Khanada, who's kind of a flex, you know, his solo prowess and how aggressive he can be. Bolts winning solo championships, winning the FNCS major right before West turned into Central, reunited on this team with Sphinx. Probably, I think, one of the most unsung heroes when it comes to IGLs. He's won games on the biggest stage, including the Global Championship of years past, and kind of bring it all together. A little bit of practice. This is a team, I feel like, no worries today making that finals. Number 26 for Khanada.
Damn.
Very interesting.
Number 26.
Trio dynamic there. We definitely have what I would say is, you know, 3 players that are extremely competent, right? They've all had their moments at the top, all right? And that's what is going to be the makings of a top tier team, someone that actually is going to give us a run for the money, if you will, come the final setting. This is a team you want us to look at too, though. We got to continue to keep our eyes on Dave's trio. On the other side, we have Edge here with Crook, Bobby. Just outside the Magic Mosses, just kind of hanging out. Huge base.
When this skill gap gets so big, it's kind of always been that big, man.
Reboot van, trying to see if anyone's looking to go get a cheeky little pickup. They're here to catch them out the sky.
Yeah, early investment in this positioning is
so the bigger the game mode, the less RNG, the more skill matters, right? So Trios has enabled even more consistency.
Their surge bases, that way they can cover more ground. HQ, Vantage, Decrypt. They're another one of those teams, 259 above the damage threshold. They're going to have to look over towards the west because you see 2 different teams on top of that mountain, which they know will be ill-advised to try to challenge them for surge.
81 alive. This is fucking absurd. Like, I'm sitting here being like, man, I feel like, you know, slow start, but like, holy shit.
Weapon for Cube to find and fish for tags is not
the broadcast is like trying to like get blood from a stone right now, bro. The reef, like I love the observers trying to make it exciting. They're like showing us every team and like they're doing their best to help the casters have something to talk about. But like, goddamn, nothing's happening.
Pretty spread out. Huge surge damage already somehow accumulated just off of their drop. And they've got plenty of time to spare here.
I mean, we did see a house stack the north side.
Kuba chilling on surge. Kuba's big chilling on surge. I don't know how the fuck we got all this.
That's just west of where they actually land.
1400 above, bro.
Base on top of an already built tower, especially Reet and Curly stretching out on the other side. They're just kind of content. Uncontested flooded frog zone moving in their favor. They really haven't.
Here we go. Let's get a fight, baby.
So far, which could be a blessing, could be a curse, depending on how this one plays out.
I thought they were 448 below. Never mind. 73 below.
But I don't think there's enough distance between them and the high ground, so not enough fall damage. But the shots continue to pour in. Zolpic's getting dropped down. 50 shield gone, but his teammate Brutal is the one that desperately needs the help because he has no shield at all.
Yeah, they do end up catching one of those trios there. Getting a little bit of a knock, but it seems like already the recovery was so fast. And this is just going back and forth right here. Zolpix Brutal users just trying their best right now. Talk about a commitment though, Zolpix. Brutal. This trio doesn't really have a lot of mats, so they kind of spent.
I mean, did you just end Frenzy?
The map. There is so much happening here. It's just going to be a matter of moments between before another team potentially decides to jump in. But look, Chris is going to be the first of the casualties here. It's Danger Biggest 5 who's kind of playing the low ground right now, but their team's below the surge, so they will be forced to do something here. Brutal's team's got what they wanted from this. Quick elimination, couple pickups, and the damage most importantly. And look, they're off to the races.
Hey, Tarzan, the private
What do you
six.
think of Dexter?
Some more mats. And
Never watched the man.
just play for mids in the end game.
Yeah, the zone's just pulling further and further north. I will say the blessing for Wager and Danger is they have a chance to get Chris back up with that reboot card with the zone continuously.
Whoa, Wager! Jacob, what the fuck?
Real opportunity to get him back because it's relatively early in the game. Only
we don't wager around here
right now. It is going to transform
as against
two,
TOS.
so it's almost a now or never situation. You add on the fact they're currently
we token for hugs, which are adequately and accurately exchanged at globals. Okay, we're very serious about the exchanging of hugs.
I gotta say, WagerBot doing pretty good right there, finding the tags.
Whoa, Monster, what the fuck?
That is a make or break moment right there. Critical moment in this game here. Given that their team were desperate for the damage, but not looking good here. For Zolpix's trio, they were the first to rotate, but they had Days trio hot on their heels, and seems like they found an opportunity, found a knock. But look at this, it was all for the surge, almost forced into a fight, and then
day down.
to the lobby. So
day down.
just like that,
there's Pollo.
starts to determine the fate for some.
Who's Sprite playing with? Is this Sprite? Wait, Sprite and who? Roxanne?
Diego plays trio.
Is this Sprite like
the surge here? And it's a lot. You can see it weighing heavily.
Oh my god. What was it called, chat? We used to the fucking when you win one game.
Taking that early risk to box fight because
reboot round. But do we used to call it reboot round? It is reboot round, right? Last chance qualifiers messed with my brain. It was called reboot round originally, right? Yeah, reboot round Sprite, yeah? Yeah, reboot round.
75 and counting above the damage threshold. They just need to figure out a way out of this situation, especially as a duo.
Sprite's playing with Core and Boji.
Ralphie able to find a knock on one. Fred goes down though, so they lose at least one of their teammates.
It's not reboot round Sprite. Oh, okay.
Smoke and extra splashes to go for the double revive, but with the zone currently moving, I'm not sure this is going to be a win-win.
The guy that 1v1 me yup.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I didn't say any names, Joji. It is the 1v3 Sprite. Okay, it is the 1v3 against 3 players we've all forgotten the names of. No one remembers who Sprite 1v3. It'll never be remembered.
Between them and that new safety line. Look, they're just flirting with the threshold right now. Not a great spot to be in by any means. Heals already exhausted, what looks to be from all the trios there.
If I do remember, though, let's air this fucking while you're here, Joji. If I do remember, I feel like you sold the least, right? I think you all fucked up, fair to say, but I swear, if I remember it correctly, he hit the god shot on you, right? You're the one where he hits that like crazy fucking 180, like 1 pixel flick, right? If that was you, honestly, that was a demon shot. Like, that's bullshit. Yeah, you sold the least, at least.
Tick. There's almost no hope.
That shot was like god tier.
Have to go for team revives, and that's going to be the only hope. But no, now active storm surge every 7 seconds.
Think it's Jordan with the prime.
Damage. Fred tried to go in, but he doesn't find everything.
Oh no.
Oh, you gotta know better than that. With the storm rolling over, this surge turning back on, that was That was a brutal mistake to try to get the pickup. I get it though, right? Like you want to have your 3-man team.
Yeah, I don't know what that play was. That was a weird one.
Safety. You have splashes in the inventory, but my gosh, that zone was just eating them alive. Well, Diego's gonna have to live with
Oh, this
that
team's
one.
in a
They're
great
couple
spot.
points that game,
Jeez,
so it wasn't a
Uncon Lone
0-sum
Wolf, and they
game,
pull
but
every zone. You've got to be kidding me.
One of the 5 prestigious rounds now gone. And that's one thing to think about. We don't really emphasize enough here on the broadcast. You really don't have many chances. 5 games is not a lot. You see how fast the show starts.
Yeah, Calibrate with the private 24 next, dude.
The same can be said for the players. They only get a few opportunities here and now, and the pressure is on to continue to compete. But looking at Khanada, looking at Bulls, looking at Sphinx, much different story for this team. They have the mats, they have the heals, they have the positioning here. And this is looking like a great game for them.
Yeah, good chances at shots. Knowing the zone is pulling from the north, making teams rotate.
Who they Lone Wolf? Jagu's team.
Khanada and Sphinx.
To exclamation mark map. We always have the drop maps. So if you're watching a set lobby map, like set lobby game, and there's a map, exclamation mark map, it'll always be there.
Even looking like they're going to try to position a drop down onto one of the teams if they do get the green light in terms of damage. Polar's able to get another elimination as we jump on Pollo, Acorn, and Angers, who are barely 57 above the threshold.
Only just above.
Some teams will start to get a little bit
And
worried,
19 bills. What happened here?
so they can get surged. They have Acorn on
What
the
happened
team.
here, bro? What the fuck?
This one every step of the way, including
Hold up. This is not the position we thought we'd see them in.
All the way towards the left side
7 builds, 93 above with almost no meds and 0 kills.
So they are recognizing, hey, they could be the one team separating themselves between being below. Wagers Bots trio is going to be moving pretty quickly here. One of the first to take the jump. So Acorn's trio tailing behind have a free rotate due to this. Wagers
Yeah, the Seaport fight cost them a bit.
Trying to get eyes, but didn't quite get the spot out. But I'd say his instincts are dead on. There's for sure a team behind them, whether he knows it or not at this moment.
Jagu gets high ground again on front side, but how many mats do they have? This is very early high take. Very early high take. Ew, Reet with the infiltrator?
Team, some barely above surge.
Got the collateral at least, but damn.
Curly, proactivity early in the game. That's freed up a lot of space and freedom for what they're able to do as Rojos get targeted down below. No damage going in yet, but they see that he's a solo, and they're probably seeing if we get some damage, we get some weakness, we could try to jump on this situation, but they're biding their time. They know how many other teams are rotating in this position. They wait till they fully get that elimination, the loot drops, and then they go in and try to scrounge it up to themselves. They know they want to keep their material count throughout these moving zones as high as possible so they don't have to worry.
Yeah, right now, all of our big name teams.
Acorn's got a trio wipe. Nice. Acorn should be healthy now.
Expected into this end game, so it's going to become a pretty big clash against.
Oh, never mind. We're not healthy now. Could not have been more wrong.
Wait a second, Pollo falls there.
Oh no.
Rotate there. Might have
Res?
a little too
Res?
soon, but high ground held by Silic.
No, Pollo's dead. Oh no, it's a bolt too.
So far,
no.
pretty well for them here. Take a look at the replay. How it all unfolded.
Acorn with the pre-fire. So young.
Dangers and Pollo there. Gets them a little bit of, you know, a refresh.
That is what's going to be a little bit hard about a scrappy lobby like this. There's going to be some teams playing real weird in the rotating.
Just seeing, even if you're above Surge, you're never safe because Chris, that was a part of the team. We saw them go down early. We saw Chris get rebooted, and so they were low on Surge. They had to take the first fight, and it was so far out of zone. They thought it was a good idea. Even with, I do believe Agers and Acorn.
Khanada low ground. Khanada here. Reet still here. Jagu on the high ground. Could have a spicy game one win.
Sphinx, Bolts, and Khanada just trying to dominate the front side of the zone, making sure they keep full control over that space and really not anybody pass them.
Playing front side right
Bro,
now.
we're investing so many mats into this high ground. Holy shit.
Khanada freely being able to target the high ground tart there. And you see
9 teams, 9 zone. This is a little bit weird, yeah.
Hundreds and hundreds of material count going to waste here, now forcing other teams to start to look up. So they've effectively helped determine that high ground team's fate here for a moment, costing them more than half their.
Is high ground double controller? I think they are, right? Yeah.
Territory as well, and pressure coming from the low ground here. Curly's team is actually second height at the moment. Pay close attention here to how this is going to end up playing out. Khanada's team continuing to trail to the front side of zone.
Well, here we go. Khanada's looking for it.
Low ground on top of them, so they really don't have much worries here.
Yeah, and even though
it's making them stagger back pretty late. They're triple controller, really?
Easy. If somebody wants to challenge, a Cynics is going to go down. Big shot by Khanada. Not able to clean it up just yet, but as he does, he gets the loot. Cooper, Reet, Curly, even though they might have been second height, but they're just making sure to follow that path, lead the charge as they find another elimination, but they're looking for
What the fuck was that movement from Tyler?
Trying to climb up the wall, but he ends up getting taken down nonetheless as Reet, Coop, Curly continue to go on a roll.
Huge set of mats right there, dropping from Tyler's body as well. It's going to give them more opportunity, more confidence to look up the high ground. Khanada, Bolts, and Sphinx haven't stopped targeting high ground teams, though. Notice they are just breaking their mats over and over.
Yeah, Khanada's really conditioning height here.
Expend this high ground team's material count. Look, King down to just 30 mats now, force some low ground. That is because of the likes of those tags coming from Khanada's trio. So from what looked to be a winning position, now gives Coop, Curly, and Reed's team a chance at success here, a chance to win the game from height. Almost gifted to them at this moment here. But Khanada's
yeah, Khanada's been conditioning it. Come on, Khanada wants to take it. Come on. Come on, Nada, get up there, son. Get up there.
They might just have more material count to win this game.
It's almost like they're baiting it. Go ahead, take that high ground because it's two different teams.
Oh, Curly Cooper went up to it, though. I think Khanada's healthier, though. They're both pretty shambles on mats, actually.
Target him down below, but it slows down, which leaves Khanada to get an elimination, but that's going to be
nice. Nice. That's a good mat refresh. Khanada has the mat advantage now, I think.
That allows them to claim space on the low ground, even with double med miss smokes going down. That's HP. That's multiple win conditions, Monster.
I love what they're
3v3v3.
Mats here, making sure everyone's got enough to work with, but here's the problem. They let that pressure up off the high ground team, so Reach Trio is now starting to situate here, but look, Coop's out of mats, so they're going to have to make a desperate low ground attempt here, or fish for some of the siphon pickups.
This is so good for
whose team's still alive. The original high ground holders of
oh, Khanada's team. Nice Storm take with the heal grenade, and then the beams from Storm. Well played by Khanada, Sphinx, and Bolts. That was a really nice play. Whoever made the call for that heal grenade zone play was smart as fuck.
They lose Sphinx in the mix here.
This is big because they played it perfect with double med miss smokes, waiting to that last.
Great call, whoever that was.
And they let those two teams fight. They clash.
I'm guessing
Sphinx,
Sphinx, but
theirs for the taking. But you see them taking their time. Two teams down below. Double kneecappers come down.
Oh yeah. 2v2v1, 2v1v1. Khanada has the advantage. Khanada Bolts.
Who's just trying to run away, play the heal off scenario, and the chase.
Oh yeah, and Coop and Jug will fight each other. This is so free for Khanada.
Cooper gets the elimination. A top two, but it's Khanada. It's Bolts. They're still alive, even with
20. Nah, yeah, only 20 with the Chug. 2v1. Come on, Coop can win this.
He knows what little's left on the Chug might not be enough, and he ends up in the fight, and a fight that's not going to last long as Khanada.
Questionable play by Cooper. Not sure what Coop was going for there.
FNCS Finals.
Hey, no one doubted that he was going to make it, and he does it once again.
W Khanada wins it.
You're just so good.
26 grand finals for Khanada, bro. What a demon. What a beast. All right, chat. We'll make the V-Buck giveaway. Nada. N-A-D-A. Nada. Nada.
It was masterfully done.
W Nada. Big win. Big win, baby.
There was a second, it seemed like, in that end game where they lost control of the narrative. It really did seem like
good
it
stuff.
Perfectly.
Yeah, that heal grenade stall play was clean. I like that.
From Khanada's perspective, you can see these pickups are.
I feel like a lot of people have been using the heal grenades to their full strength, but yeah.
Was the game changer, Jacob?
Yeah, it definitely was. And throughout many games that I've seen, teams don't even target high ground. Almost zone after
so chat, if you guys don't know how the V-Buck giveaways work, super easy. Type the word Nada in chat. Make sure your Twitch whispers are on, and then keep an eye out for a DM from my mod Merits. You'll also get pinged by the bot if you win too. Go type the word Nada in chat.
The world after that one, but there's still so much action to break down. Zeke, Kelly, Vivid, give us a hand.
Khanada!
God.
Khanada!
Oh god.
Do you guys see the script? Do you see what I'm writing? Do you see the poetic nature of the script I've been writing for 5 years? Do you see?
5 more seconds, chat. I'll call the Khanada giveaway.
It's actually been longer, but that's fine.
I was about to say it has been longer than that. Zeke's been here for like 7 years.
About them at the start of the show, and I love here that we kind of called out. Kelly, you called out that.
I'll call that, chat. Thank you.
Had this same head-to-head last major, but it went the other way, right? Khanada lost game 1. Now to come back and win game 1. As Jacob said, we're now 26 finals of 26, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
And
there's the smiles. Now Khanada's the one who's not smiling. There's the smiley faces.
This is a major boon for them.
A major boon.
Goes, yes, this is very similar to what we saw last major. It was Khanada's trio in Major 3 that won game 1, but it was
conditioning height mean? Basically like just pressuring height, but like not straight, like taking it. So if you keep if you keep breaking the mats and keep chopping out height over and over again, you're conditioning them. Basically, you're weakening them so you can then take it later.
And there was something that we were noticing in the final moments that around zone 9 that Khanada, Bolts, and Sphinx kept kind of peeking up, you know, and they were the ones that were trying to chop height. Inevitably, they do eventually get it, but it's actually
you shot him with the private 2. That you did.
Able to take height away from them, but that doesn't slow Bolts and Khanada down. No, they stay.
Who's taking his job now? Not sure, man. Not sure.
Eventually, in like the final moments, take height and then have it go down to the 2v1.
Listen, if I had probably about an hour, I wouldn't be able to talk about enough, like what I would actually want to talk about, what I just saw that game. First, we're trying my best here.
Yeah, Jav, we got the Khanada reactions. Give us the clip.
The efficiency, the activity, that entire game, we saw it in some of those highlights right there. He went from pressuring higher ground at one point to not even a second later editing down on a player that was on the lower ground and finding the elimination. Sometimes we just see that separation.
Sad to the dig on dig violence there. I realized all three. This is the dig group, bro. All three of the dig players are in this group.
Obviously, holding a lot of that weight. And then the second thing. Listen, I've been involved with Fortnite for a very long time. I got to play professionally. I've been watching for a very long time. One of the coolest plays that caught me even off guard was that med miss smoke on the front side of the moving zone. When that zone kind of bounced back, they still stuck it out. They sat in zone.
Oh, no, misses me. Yeah.
That controlled the higher ground. One of the coolest plays I've ever seen. And the fact that that's what got them in the finals, very, very cool stuff.
Man, I cannot wait to see
Evo's the prime. Evo, Showtime, Fex, V8, Ibanks, Dom, Obo, Zeke, Calibrate, Jordan, Sethio, Tarzan, Jays, Zycran, August. Thanks, Chad. How close are we? Oh my lordy, 75 subs from the 12K. Thank you, Chad. We haven't got to grands yet, man. Oh my lordy. No one else he's gone hopeful. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's smart. Is that liquid vivid? It is. Thank you. Derivative with the prime. Who's casting pro? We do not. We do not. Pito V. Oh my god, we got the Pito V on the broadcast.
44 months damn time flies.
I think you told him the TL 44. Want you in pro with Peanut? I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. We'll see how we go, man. There's some good ass teams, bro. A lot of competition. We know the prize. So Pro Am's 500K, bro. They haven't announced the split yet. Like exactly how the 500K is split up. It's graphic. Let's see for 12. Thanks, man. Voice sounds way better. Yeah, it's been nice, man. Finally, don't have a sore throat, bro. Still all nasally and gross, unfortunately, but no sore throat.
I have no builds, Bolts. And right here, me and Bolts, we fucking play full win. Yeah, 2v2. 2v1. I knew we were. I knew instantly that we win.
We win guaranteed. We win guaranteed.
But we have to fight.
Yeah. Let me play that. I'm lower on my heart.
And I know we have to fight him. We never know what he has. It's too late.
We need to go up.
I don't have mats. It's all good. Little mantle. Jump. Then let's go. Let's go. We're the best fucking trio. We're the best trio. Let's go. This is our fucking game.
This is very normal Khanada reaction.
And in the top 5 in terms of consistency, to have these guys take it to that end game is a really good start, especially in game number 1.
That's right.
And especially having it be Cooper versus Sphinx in those final moments. You know that Cooper and Sphinx have been
Look, your hand with a Hanum team up too.
Playing Major 1 together.
Ikama?
So to see them go up
Yeah, it's like the least. That's like the least hyped Khanada reaction for sure. That's like the most casual Khanada reaction.
Crazy. And you know, I might be one
Gonna
of the
watch
biggest
FNCS
fans of
during
Reet,
my
but
trip
really
to
is gonna be
Japan.
that
Enjoy your trip to Japan.
Exactly what we were going to be seeing. That mid-game.
Oh, God, they actually might win
play
grands?
style, kind of around zones 10, really carried them throughout that end game.
I mean, they did such a good job of controlling pretty much the entirety of the middle ground. You can see that there was nobody actually pretty much on that layer. All the teams being squished down to the lower layer, or of course, one team above them. But I got to tip my hat to them, right? Because they actually did end up on the high ground. I was like, wait, Reet, Curly, and Cooper on the high ground. They were
here we go.
One of
Here we
the
go.
teams that were spraying out high ground. Just means that they were so aware.
Nice
that they were like,
W.
Okay, listen, this other team, they're kind of pulling this off.
We got
right now.
Silic,
see them pressuring.
Reet,
high ground teams
Fanboy
spawn
Bobby,
off. Let's actually go
Eulogy,
ahead
and then
see that.
Cynics, bro.
Very
What?
Good awareness coming out of them. Gotta mention though, second place, 7 eliminations. It's kind of crazy, right? They're actually in 3rd place behind Silic's team.
Are you friends with the Prime 5?
Oh my goodness, and Silic's team did such a good job there. We were talking about it at the start of the show. These teams that try and take high ground.
You only had 20 chugs. Coop's playing. No, I'm not questioning Coop. No, I was questioning why Coop started popping the chug jug only for the 20 on the high ground rather than like fighting it.
We were wondering, how are they able to have all these mats? They're not getting any eliminations on the ground. How are they able to hold it for so long? And when they did lose high ground, they were able to recover really well on the low ground. This trio right here, they might be the dark horses.
Hey, Sheldon Spencer.
Oh yeah, 100%. And what Kelly was kind of mentioning right there was like, yeah, they were receiving so much pressure from a couple of our teams in that end game right there, and they were just like standing there, no care in the world, not applying any pressure back. Just like, yeah, I'm just gonna outbuild all the.
What happened to Pollo? They had an aggressive fight in Seaport that really like kneecaps in this game.
Teams on NA that they don't have enough mats to kind of suffice on the high ground, and then there's this team that's just like eating it all up so very, very easily. So something went right in their game plan along the way to where they had so many materials. But yes, I mean, Kelly hit the nail on the head right there. The recovery factor. They lost the high ground. They had 0 materials. Still were able to find their footing on the low ground right there and make it a great game for them.
You know what? I have a question mark though. After all that, right? We did see some good gameplay, but there was a big factor that we were missing, and that's that Pollo factor.
Oh, Pollo factor.
To them, I see here that they kind of fell 11th place with 5 elims, but I feel like in some ways that's a little uncharacteristic.
It's very uncharacteristic.
You know, Acorn.
Yo, what's up, Moneymaker? Oh my gosh. The most consistent team. EU Grade 3. Good shit, Money. Congrats on Grands, man. That solo clutch, though, bro, the broadcast did not show it at all. But you're fucking crazy. I did my best to gas it up because I recognized when I saw you were still alive, but they didn't show you for a second of that game. That was insane.
See how they do in this game.
Well, it's time, Kelly. Ask and you shall receive. Game number 2 is ready for us. So let's jump back into the action. Casters, take it away.
Game 2.
Game number 1 was absolutely massive. Khanada going to the final.
Massive.
Credit. King on Expo. 2,300 damage in that game.
Hey, mid skill with the Prime for 9.
The next best player in that lobby. And we're going to see if he could do it again because game number 2 is ready.
All right, 1 game down, few more to go. That didn't make any sense. Few more to go. Few more to go, but then I thought about it. It's only 5 games, not like final settings. But hey, look, this is going to be a big opportunity now for Noah W plays. We saw his team get taken out early. I noticed online that he was talking about he is going to be taking up the hopeful heights, going back to his original drop spot. That's part of the fun dynamic, right? When teams start to qualify their way out of these settings, these lobbies because of the Victory Royale. So with Khanada's team moving on, hey, this gives chance and opportunity for other teams to kind of step on in.
Yeah, but you're already seeing more than just them change up their drop spot. A fight here at the split drop drop that was contested in game number 1.
Ooh, nice,
no
Phoenix.
longer contested, which means they have to go somewhere else. And already 3 teams at Seaport, and this is a big fight with a couple already being
no one
dropped down.
left,
Mike Potts
and there's
gonna get the
still
first
3 teams
elimination
here.
on this side
There
of
was
the
gonna be
map, and
4 teams.
already this is looking like a very,
What are we
very
doing?
dangerous and risky situation to be
Why
in.
are we doing this?
Yeah, think about it. And this is where Noah W Plays team was, right? So originally 4 teams contesting his drop. It's just not reasonable. It's not a good drop.
Good thing Noah got out, but like,
I think they
damn.
made the right decision to probably veer off towards the hopeful heights now.
I'm seeing a lot of bots here. We got Drew bot, Mike bot.
Talk about a difficult
Leyland fell off.
situation to be in. Leyland clicks
So another bot.
that we're seeing of them
Logan bot.
in this early type of contestation. Before it was Logan's team who came out successful over the trios here. Let's see what they can bring to the table here and now.
Yeah, you're already seeing a scanner going down, so even though they're trying to drop their way down to the bottom of that building, their position could be revealed for a short amount of time. This could allow them, for Clixie and his trio, to put down just a little bit of pressure. Not much, and that's the thing that makes it kind of hard to fight over at Seaport is, yes, when you kind of land off a spawn, you have a weapon, they don't, you can chase them around, but as everything kind of settles down, the dust settles, and things like this happen.
Aussie bot for the promo would be crazy. Nah, kind of crazy, bro.
One of those buildings, try to land a 1 pump, it just comes at a very big risk, but landing shots like that as they go ahead and pull away, and this is where it's going to be up to Leyland, Drewbot, and Clixie if they want to continue to put the pressure here.
I like this position right here, but I'm not really feeling the loadout. There's a lot of room for upgrades here on all of these teams. They're spending a little too much time trying to gather information.
Yeah, Noah's supposed to be uncon here on the drop map. He's left, and there's still 3 teams here.
And like both sides, just gonna go and settle out and opt to get to their farming here. Meanwhile, Bullcut Tyler, Skittles and Tofi right now, taking a look, setting up this ambush here. Now, do remember they were contested in game 1. They didn't have time to set this fight up, so it's a little bit different for them now.
Good shots as they continue to kind of adapt as the game does go on. They're trying to go ahead and do the sneaky plays instead of it happening to them. They got some good damage, but it's not going to be a ton. It's not a good confidence boost.
Fishing holes are very trippy.
Conscientious decision without contested. This
10
side of the map
months
was in game 1. Do we stay
WWW.
here? Do we try to hold them?
Matered with the pride for 10.
Let's jump on over to one of our hotspot POIs for this group, Crime City, and you're seeing they're fighting directly inside of that bunker, and they just don't want to let one team kind of just dominate it and get it for free without at least.
Bro, you know this group's pretty troll because of the names, bro. We got Thug King Beast. I just saw like Sparkly Cat or something. Like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Danger Biggest 5. Like, what is happening? Dude, what the fuck is he saying? Wages bot FV. Like, it's just, you know, it's a troll group when you got this many weird as fuck names.
For Chris's team on the other side, see how it's looking for them. Not too bad here. They definitely have the slight advantage, I'd say. The material count here. How do you think this is going to play out?
I think this is almost like a no-win situation, because even if they're able to make their way in, Chris, Wager, and Danger, it's just going to come at such a high
They're not getting the
risk.
gold now either.
Team, you see
They're getting none of the gold now too.
Map, just a little bit out of the distance, but if they hear this and they see this as an opportunity to sneak, we've saw it not only group 2, we saw it in group 1 as well. That's how a lot of players were getting caught off guard. So I do like their decision to kind of disengage, give it up. There's no way they can fight it for free, and with the little resources and materials that they have, I do think it's a better decision to at least try and farm up.
Acorn Agers and Pollo on the move right now. Once again, playing that mass metals, one of the early rotates here.
Oh shit, okay, we got the chugs, baby.
Having somewhat of a surge problem, right, in the mid game, so seemed like.
And we got the chuck. Okay, this has got to be the game. Come on, we got to win this game. This has got to be the game.
Aggressive in their early situations. We'll have to see here. This game's going a lot slower though, Jacob, than the previous.
Yeah, I think with one game down, it's almost that opposite effect of some of our groups that we saw, where it was kind of very, very slow in game 1, players filling each other out. Now it kind of went the other way. You got to imagine some players maybe have lost fights in game 1 that they didn't necessarily think they would, so they're taking just a much slower approach. And what you're seeing here out of Acorn, Agers, and Pollo, they quickly looted up their mass meadows, got all their loot, they got the deal bits. Now they're kind of
you're not 0p if you're not in Frankfurt, rest her.
So they're going to
not for tournaments anyway.
Extra big pots, maybe some splashes towards the top of that surge tower, and just
bro, we haven't lost a single team yet.
Team that's rotating by.
This is the most passive group of all time.
Gotta keep tagging. Let's take a look, though. Jump into another area here for Diego.
Yeah, so you're on zero ping if you play pubs and rank, man. There's Paris, London, and German servers for Frankfurt servers for pubs and rank. But tournaments is always Frankfurt, so.
Cost them everything. They won't be looking to do anything like that this time around. Looking at the feed, though, Curly's trio picking up Bowl Cut Tyler over by the Whiffy Wharf. So a lot developing now. It's inevitable, right, given the pacing of the game here. But Diego's team rotating right into a full trio here. This trio looking to size them up, potentially take the fight here as they get the first tags onto Ralphie. An early med miss. Not sure if that's to try to bait them in or not, but another fight here, Jacob, with Logan being the first to fall here.
Another elimination. Dom's down as well. That's second for Clixie. But more and more teams rotating through Seaport City. So it's great that they're able to get the eliminations, but you're seeing 28 builds on Clixie alone. A huge lack of resources, 6 on Drewbot. So for them staying in this position as long as they have been so far, yeah, maybe their surge is good, but what about everything else to kind of complete the game? Kind of putting themselves in a position where they have to kind of stagger themselves back, farm up, or maybe even fight again to try to get elimination, just like some of our other teams do.
We lost 2
That's how they collect
teams.
their resources. As Phenom, Eulogy, they're going to get that revive onto Yusuf. Nobody feeling confident enough, even after collecting the down, to try to push over and get the elimination.
Well, he's uncon hopeful now, Oro. Noah's uncon hopeful, which I think that should be good.
Time of the game. More teams opting to rotate north and closer to the Seaport City here. This is just becoming a very much of a hot spot for action right now.
Thought I saw it for a moment. Might have been the black.
Yeah, Hopeful has Noah dropped Hopeful all last season, so he's got a lot of experience there. Khanada qualified out of there, so now it's uncon, so that makes sense.
Teams landing towards the north. They got an early rotation to make.
Is Lobby so passive due to lack of experience? Yeah.
Drastic as some of the other games we've seen. You know, if I had to predict and make an early guess on this zone, it's going to kind of set her up. So I would be very, very careful late in the game if it does continue to move towards those mountains, because yesterday, if it showed us anything, if you're not prepared for the elevation changes as drastic as they can be, you're going to expend a lot of mats and find yourself in a worse off situation.
Wow, a whole
You
year,
can't
how
do
exciting.
that too early in the game. You find yourself set back, held out, but talk about teams moving towards the Seaport. Pollo, Acorn,
Still
and
come
Agers
back
are
here
that
every month
southernmost team.
for
I
the
was
prime
curious as to
sub.
what trios it were, but that question's now been answered in full for us here. Beneath them, you have Seek, Veer, and Dash there. Very notable trio as well. Look at this, Acorn's loadout really not looking like the best here at the moment.
What was the most entertaining to watch for you? Probably Group 2 was the best on both regions. Group 1 was fun because Pete just dropping a bunch of kills, always fun to watch, but
they don't have to necessarily travel on foot if it is still going to be there.
It's not tough.
This Ager's just a little bit too close down below for my own comfort.
He's just jumping down and getting mad aggressive.
A good shot. Reet, Curly Coop still over towards Flooded Frogs. You saw in the feed that Curly was able to get multiple eliminations, and they've gotten 2 more since then. And so when it comes to Storm Surge, they're adapting on the fly from game 1 to game 2, realizing that Storm Surge can really dictate not just yours, but a lot of other teams nearby.
Yeah, they're in a
what place was Pollo predicted to come last Grands? I think I had him in 4th in that chat, or 3rd? Did I have Pollo in 4th or 3rd?
A lot of time to work with. This
I had Pete first, and I know I put Pollo above Khanada because everyone flamed me for that.
Just play dead side. Really,
I might have had Clicks in 2nd.
And we'll surely be seeing them into another end game there.
I had him 4th, I think, yeah.
Back on
Clicks 3rd. Who did I have 2nd then? Oh, Vidil. I went Pete, Vidil, Clicks, Acorn, Khanada. Yeah, and I got flamed for putting Acorn above Khanada.
Ultimately ended in this team retreating back into the vault here.
Yeah, I had Vidil's team in 2nd.
Has more mats somehow than there was when we first tuned in. So very interesting development here, but I'm not a fan of it.
Nah, I'm not a fan either, because it almost puts you in a situation, if you're Quiz Wager in danger, if you do not win this fight, if you do not get the resources from taking down Champo Beast and Cosmo, you're in a terrible situation because you're in zone, almost the center. More and more teams will begin to rotate in this direction, especially because there's not only the mountain, but the black market just north. So you really got to start to formulate a plan B if this does not work out.
So they were real underdogs? They formed as a team, what, 1.5 weeks before Grands or 2 weeks before Grands, and then played a tournament and pretty much played pretty shit.
No doubt
Yeah, they played one tournament together before Grands and did not look very good. So I basically put them in 4th just off the fact that I think Acorn's like GOAT IGL for Grands.
Right here. This team, given that they've been so passive,
that's why like people questioning
really fishing for enough tags on one another either. So it's something to take into account here.
They got 3rd in that Div Cup, yeah, but it wasn't a good 3rd.
So if you're the team in the vault, do you at any point try and break out, or are you just at the mercy of Danger, Chris, and Wagers? Because it does come with its own risk. There's only one way in, one way out, especially if they have all the surrounding control on that side of the map.
Like, it was a real scrappy 3rd that kind of like, yeah. You can ask them that too. That's not me to say this. Pollo, Acorn, and Aegis will all tell you they looked like shit in that Div 1 Cup finals.
It's inevitable. However,
like, they shaped up real quick for Grands. It was crazy. Their turnaround was nuts.
Yeah, I think they have to do something desperate. Gotta fight for it, if you will.
Shiny Chefs, just a couple of teams floating, rotating nearby. There's a lot of extra heals in terms of bandages. They have the water sprite. If they can find a shrine, they can kind of refresh it as well. So not too worried for them in this position, as long as they're farming up and getting some of that resource that they do lack, which is going to be metal, which Shiny Chefs does have a lot of. So you're kind of seeing their game plan in motion. Just outside of that, Hooper, Reet, Curly making their way in towards the zone, but they just want to heal up as well. Why use any of the med kits, the smokes, when there's this perfectly good fire pit down below?
Stoke the flames, and this is what we talked about. They're going to be able to play things a lot differently given how many eliminations they picked up. You won't see this very often from trios playing late into the storm like this, utilizing the campfires in the vicinity and then playing for a full dead side rotate. Whole team has kneecappers, chug splash just to work with. This is just, again, a massive
with the prime
rotate here and a wonderful setup for game 2. It's not something you can bank on either, right? This is just how you play it when the cards have been dealt to you in this way. Finding that many eliminations so early to have given them the chance to do just that. You have to respect it. On the other side, there's a team that has to try to set themselves up for a little bit of vision here.
Thank you, Nosy with the tier 1. Thank you, bro.
Early to the party.
Mero for real back. Apparently Mero's going to play last chance, man. So we'll see how we go.
Remember, all those teams from the sequence
which had to be Div 1 for last chance.
5 or 6 we saw in that general area. They're going to be some of the few that are going to start to rotate in here shortly.
Top 3 solo players right now.
This is where it starts to get a little dangerous. With
that's a tough one, man. Muzz Pete, and then the third one is kind of like up for grabs. It depends.
So many different mountain ranges that teams will have to cross through, and there's already teams set up.
There's so many other good solo players. It's just like probably Sphinx, yeah.
Teams in certain areas, unless she went ahead and took that.
And then EU lobbies are harder though, so it's like EU. There hasn't been as much consistency on EU, but EU is obviously a lot harder, so it's like.
Teaks.
So probably Malabuka for me, just because Malabuka is so good in so many different seasons and metas. Like, probably Pete, Muzz, and Malabuka.
It's not even that trio that I'm worried about. It's the two towards the outside that they're going to have to fight. Eventually running into as one's already down. KSM taking a big shot. Liquid trying to stay alive. Use the water sprite.
Come on, Scuffies. Come on, Scuffies. We didn't even play game 1. We're going to make it count.
His teammates some time. Alleviate some of that pressure so they can find some freedom.
I was wondering what in the world made it so that Texas team decided that they wanted to take that fight. I mean, they had the advantage, they had the damage, but maybe they just knew that they were a
Hey, Astro with Prime, they did. 32 months.
You could see that it was not worth the even small engagement there. It cost them a fair bit, and now also the attention of the teams that have pulled the zone further and first across the waterways. So they're just asking for trouble now.
To end Penn's trio situation? I think any team that's waiting for last chance, bro, they're going to see which big teams don't qual today and then probably start making some teams.
KSM, Liquid here, watching Tex team go off to the left here. Definitely the better decision.
Gotta give Karama some credit, no? I mean, I give Karama more credit than anyone, bro. I've gassing that motherfucker up for like months now, dude, but He's super consistent, and I think the fact that he's on controller and does it on NA2 is amazing, but...
I'm trying to think about what to say in a moment like this. This
What
was
is
your
this?
worry, the lack of surge. 420 below that damage
I've never seen a team this
threshold
below.
and counting, and you see they're still hiding outside of that vault. They're 300 damage, which means they've had at least
Open
one
and
player.
Byler
Two of them were
LF1.
camping the vault.
He's
One
2 on for
player was
11, Sweat.
constantly moving around Crime City, constantly looking for little opportunities at damage, and now you're seeing
Oh, so
the
it's
huge
independent
difference it
Byler.
makes. Active surge on the other
Ugh.
side. Eventually, whether a fight happens or not, Monster, I fear they're going to go down, and all that loot,
They're literally
regardless,
just...
is
They're
gonna go
deliberately
into the
griefing. This is
wave.
crazy. They're gonna drop it. They're gonna drop a heal grenade.
Look at this storm too. It's pulling mad.
Dude,
south,
this
right?
is
so
like...
even the team outside is
Wow.
like, yeah,
Dude,
we're
we're
just gonna
actually
wait
just
for
full
'em.
griefing.
Like, we're not gonna rotate. We're just gonna chill here.
Dude.
And it seems like Cosmo, Thug, and Champ are
Wow.
we're good. We'd rather lose. We'd rather
How is
fall
there
to the
82
Storm Surge
people
than give
alive?
our
Bro,
loot
this is the
versus
goofiest group
Trio.
I've ever watched.
And Chris, they see.
I've watched some
and they
pretty fucking
recognize,
goofy
hey, we
groups
still have a
too.
chance here. Let's just go ahead and move. So clearly, you can see who the real winners of this whole situation is. But at the end,
Dude.
Champo's team has no idea that they left. So there you have it.
I'm just kind of waiting for the feed, just because eventually that Storm Surge is going to catch up. And they're waiting for a moment where it
game's over. Their
deactivates
game's
into the
over.
next phase, but it's just a tough situation. Hopefully a learning lesson for them. It is going to be 3 games left if they don't survive, so they can kind of pick things back up and really try to reassess the situation. Dash goes down. Oh no! Hopefully nobody's clipping that one. I might see that on social media later.
Wait, we were just talking about House of Cells. That one's making the cut. Congrats.
Oh,
Ryan and
boy.
Dash. Very nicely played for him. Medmiss is going to come out here. I'm wondering if X on site's going to decide to jump on this team now. They saw the Medmiss come out. That's going
It's
to
really
be
one of those days, huh?
surefire sign for them.
Yeah, and even when they find
9
their way
damage
in
above
towards zone,
for
yeah,
Veer's
that's
trio, by the way.
exactly what I was gonna say. Even when they find themselves in zone, it's not gonna get easier.
That's one of the-
at all.
this is one of the
No
better teams in the
resources,
group, by the way.
active surge, 15 below. Only one team at
Yeah, I don't think you
fully
ample.
built up already. So spraying over in that direction is not gonna be too useful, but they find it on the liquid anyway. The reboot.
Okay.
Go,
comes
no,
in,
he
and
fell
they're
short. Now he
charging
can't get the
over.
shot.
They have
No.
No, Storm Surge saves him in that second. It is up to Seek all
They're both getting hit by Surge. They're both below Surge.
He gets above Surge. He gets the elimination. It's actually a goes over to
Bro.
ARC, but he gets
What
the
is
loot or
happening?
whatever's left
Genuinely,
of
what
it.
is happening?
What
That
is
is
this
insane
game?
work. You just can't make this up, right? Like what you're watching right now, it just happens. Sometimes it just happens that way. Seek's got the reboot card. Well, actually, I don't even know if he can even play for anything else, as given the surge, of course.
That means the good teams like Cooper surely are chilling here.
Nonetheless, tough situation
Wait,
for
this
that
is a
trio.
weird.
We'll see
Wait,
what they can end up
wait.
doing here.
Reet's team is deep half on the complete
safe side
opposite
of
side of
the
the map
zone.
to their drop spot.
Much more calm
Cooper hitting the god
situation
IGL this
around here.
round.
Jargo, Silicon,
Holy
King
shit.
have themselves
Bro,
a
Reet's
nice
up
clean
here.
position here.
Reet, Cooper, and
Very
Curly are already
strong
in.
game one, Sherman. We'll be keeping eyes on them. to
Great
see if they're gonna
rotate.
be one of those high ground teams that come up and out of nowhere. Diego, Ralphie, and Fred, though, better game performance so far. They've made it a little bit further. However,
Ooh.
does seem like Diego is getting active right here on a unsuspecting trio right here. They thought they were going to go out and find a finish onto
Look at
Ralphie,
Deeks
but
with the prime of
not
9. Was
before
Pollo dead? Where's he
Diego's
at? Nah, I think he's chilling, man.
and the pickup comes
They don't really
through.
do a lot of
Yeah,
check-ins with the
that's the real
big teams.
question.
They show a lot of
All
the
enemy
fights
team
in the
does,
mid-game.
though, go ahead and get a little bit of that. That's going to probably save them ultimately. in
So
the
if you're
end
not
right
seeing
here.
a team, it means they're doing really well. It means they haven't gotten into any danger, basically.
That brings it down to a 2v2. The bats come
What
out.
the
He's swinging for the fences. Diego, he's going to get trapped and down all together. That might not have been a home run, Monster, but that was at least a double or a triple. He is safe.
Oh
No,
my
going crazy. He
god.
didn't even charge it up, by the way. That was just base damage.
What the
Picking
fuck
them
is
left and
happening,
right
bro?
here.
What is
This is a
actually
clutch
going
shot
on,
with the
dude?
shotgun. You never saw it
This is the
coming.
goofiest shit I've ever
Force
watched.
effect is gonna keep him in the
Just
game
back
here.
to
They'll
back,
make this
every
run
fight
to
is
now,
just
and
like
my
maximum
gosh,
cheese.
what
I don't even know
a
what's
game
happening.
We are watching.
This is a
There's
fever
chaos
dream.
unfolding everywhere here now.
Oh my god.
Another med miss
And now we're
comes
down to
through. And you know what? I
43.
genuinely
We just
thought
lost
that med
40
miss
players
was
in
the
like
first
2
time I was
minutes,
gonna
3
see
minutes.
Diego's trio.
Oh my god.
God, it was. This is the other side. Oh, that
that.
was the beauty right there. That shot
at
on the
that.
Fred turned things around. And instead of just going for the elim, he just broke out The Louisville Slugger just started.
Louisville Slugger.
Got hit with the edge. He turns around, takes down the last one.
There's Acorn. Hey, let's go, boys.
Just like in game one, we saw a team, Diego probably in the black market trying to be a hero. He knew I cannot save my teammate and immediately beelined it to zone.
This game's hilarious. From the, it all started with the Volt. You know, the pace was set for us. The story was set. Let's see what the end game has for us now. Take a look at this though. Some more serious things. Pollo,
W replay.
Finding their refreshes, finding their
oh my
pickups here.
Bro, even the observers are trolling down, bro. They're like, yo, look at this sick highlight. one AR bullet. Dude, we're getting trolled, man. This group is just... I don't even know what's happening, man. I have no clue what's going on anymore.
Let the eliminations come to them as Pollo just finds another one, the second one of the game. Just barely peeking outside as Acorn peeking to the cone. Information vital for him. The IGL really leading the charge for the team. We know how clutch he can be because it was last major.
Pollo getting given the collateral.
One situation where if he would have lost that, there goes the Major 1 championship as Pollo tees
Worst
off,
format
sending
ever.
his team towards the zone, so that way they can find a good spot on
I mean, the only other way to do the format without this is... Oh shit, W replay again! The only way to do this format without this is kind of my suggestion of like the last 2 or 3 Div 1 finals or Div Cups in general should be qualifiers to FNCS with series points. So we'd have prize money back in the qualifiers. And you'd have the best teams playing every single round rather than it being like seeded like this.
A brief moment there, and Daystrio's all of a sudden securing up the high ground here.
Yeah, luckily for him, he was kind of a little slower than the rest of his team.
The downsides, though, is it forces teams to have to stick together.
And their trio just trying to sneak up the other side.
NAC should be 2 groups? Yeah, maybe.
Pollo looking like they were just in a rough situation here, but Acorn having another elimination, which means they were able to kind of fend him off.
I played the group with Peterbot, and this is the other group I could have been in.
The option to pick and choose
Yeah.
exactly what they want.
I mean, hey, no one can complain except for Group 2 and EU. Group 2 EU players have the ultimate right to complain.
Yeah, you can't be caught in the zone. The replay is just highlighting.
Get him, Acorn! Abdullah!
Continuously finding their
fucking him up.
Seems like we jump away, watch something play out, and the Acorns team's just making a big play for themselves here. Meanwhile, Noah
gives a lot of up-and-coming players opportunities, though. I mean, is that a thing, though? Like, isn't that what everyone's complaining about? Chat's complaining that it's a bunch of goofy players. Like, isn't that what people don't want?
Right? You saw 4 teams at the Seaport City. Now that Khanada's trio has qualified out of the Hopeful Heights, they have that entire
Jacob, the tier 1
southern area free of charge to themselves here, and they're making great work of it.
This is almost a feeling of deja vu here for Reet, Curly, and Coop. We didn't see a ton.
Come on, Reet. Come on, Reet. We got the pistol and everything. Come on.
Under the radar, taking space.
You don't like this format to let the up-and-comers have a chance? No, I don't care. I'm not even complaining right now, chat. You guys are the ones freaking out.
Continuously finding those opportunities.
I'm just saying, the only way you can do a format that doesn't have this is like make it like Div 1 Cups and stuff.
829 above the damage threshold, and with the zone pulling on over to the other side of the mountain, and there's going to be a little bit of elevation changes as it kind of skips towards the side.
The Ager's team saying, you know what, we're gonna
please don't die to full damage somehow. Why have I got a really bad feeling watching this? Such a long build up to it, it's just freaking me out.
A bit of a high ground position, they say, and play the low ground. Meanwhile, take a look at the
oh, get him, Day! Damn! No aim assist my ass.
Doing a great job so far, but gotta be careful.
Noah's up there as well. Noah's staggering to take height. Noah might take height here.
Taking note for Jargu, Silic, and King. They're also kind of in a mid-ground position here, just taking their time, not trying to overcommit to any one position or another at the moment.
Resurgence of Noah, Chaos, and Kaz is in this game. What a difference a drop spot makes, and a more comfortable one at that. Kind of taking charge instead of kind of egoing up or trying to on Seaport, thinking you're the best. They just kind of made a quick adjustment. It's already working out for them tenfold. As Jan loses Day, him and Aloe gonna be stuck.
No, Day's down. No, Aloe's down.
Resources, and his teammate goes down.
Oh, Sprite. Sprite dab on the high ground.
Quickly move out. Leaving Jan to the backside of his own with decisions to make of how he's going to try to make it in, and he has no choice but to go.
Oh, this is looking really good for Reet and maybe Pollo. Wait, does Pollo not have triple bat? I don't think Pollo has triple bat.
And that's what happens when a team decides to kind of play med miss late into the storm there. For Reet, Curly, and Coop, though, they are not putting themselves in any type of position like that. Meanwhile, Acorn's team jumps up, but another trio looks into this. Kind of put their
We got 110 in the chug jug. Got to get it off.
Here, and it's actually Coop's trio from the low ground, putting pressure up top.
Oh, wait a second. Reet win? Surely Reet win. Surely a Reet win. Yup.
Kind of fend it out here in the mid layer. Meanwhile, Boji's trio from high ground comes
Surely
down.
a Reet win.
They get the full finishes there, pick up some of the mats off of Acorn's body, and this is bouncing back towards.
Has anyone on Reet's team gone down? I don't think they have.
Good decision on them not to fully give it up just yet, and they have the advantage here.
Yeah, nah, it's got to be a Reet win.
Full teams down below. This is one Reet, Curly, and Coop.
8 elims. Come on, Reet. Come on, Reet. Zone wars time, baby.
Taking the driver's seat as IGL for this team, and he's trying to lead them to victory.
Yeah, Reet, we have height. Oh, we're going up though.
Yeah, and he's ready to challenge it. Curly's there. They have so many builds.
What the fuck?
Biggest question
Bro, Curly's...
is what is the
Chill, Curly, chill. Oh yeah, 3v3v1. We win this for sure. Oh, 3v3 against Noah. Maybe Noah wins.
That's a quick lead up once more from Noah Plays, and it comes down to a 3v3
Ooh, gold pump. Come on, Noah. Actually, nah, gotta cheer, brother Reet.
This is insane for No W Plays. They are at 9 eliminations.
Yo, Hopeful looking real good for Noah though. The difference between Seaport and Hopeful is very apparent.
Place right now is fantastic. They are starting to run out of material. Reet's team just again so smart for them to go for high ground first.
Nah, Reet's gonna beat him here with a pistol, surely.
Good right now for our low ground boys here, but they're gonna go up. They're gonna
one build. Wait, Cooper's running out though. Wait a second. Noah can win this.
Starting to run out of material.
Nah. Kaz goes down, never mind. Oh, damn. Yo, respect Noah for going for the play, but damn. 12 elim win. Oh, this group is getting Mickey real quick, bro. It's getting Mickey real quick. Oh, no. All right, no Khanada, no Reet, man. This is going to get real crazy. Oh, shit. All right, chat. We'll make the V-Buck giveaway Reet. R-E-E-T, Reet. Double dig win, baby. Dig win.
Dominating that end game, and you got to give them all the credit in the world.
I think Noah was going for the baseball bat play, chat. I think Noah was going for the baseball bat of height.
Welcome to the finals.
Yeah, talk about timing, right? He goes up, and you saw how he was building for a second. He's like, hey, whether you like it or not, if there's a player up here or not.
Oh, look at the heal off Reet had. Good God. Yo, Reet had the heal off.
Teams ran out of gas. They didn't have anything, and they do.
Thank you, Vix. Thank you, Rolo. Ruop. Thank you, Ixa, Mitchie, Jacob, Splodes, Shio, Deeks, Aimpool. Thanks, guys. 55 subs from 12K. Thank you. Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Soggy.
Oh, that's so crazy. Sorry, hold on 1 second. Reet, you dropped this, King. Sorry about that. I don't know what you did with there. Man, cannot believe it. I mean, Kelly is going to be over the moon right now. Obviously, one of Reet's biggest fans. To see this trio pull out this W, especially, I love that they call this out too. These zones are so...
Yeah, these zones are crazy.
This is looking like yesterday, Kelly.
Yeah,
all right, 10 more seconds, chat, then we'll call the Reet giveaway.
Zones, but that's okay. A little bit of a slip of the script is fine. But obviously, when it comes to Cooper, Reet, and Curly, it doesn't matter what zone that they're put into because they did such a good job controlling the mid ground. And when you have this crazy kind of mountainous zone pull,
I shall call that. Thank you.
Really weird. So honestly, sticking to the mid ground can be quite the advantage. But for me, it is about Reet rising once again. We saw in Major 1, Reet was not able to make it into the Major 1 finals, and that was the first time we hadn't seen him in an FNCS finals in years, Vivid. So to see him come back to his former glory with global champion Coop and Curly,
the IDK was on 4
out of his mind again.
We got the Curly tweet for the reaction. Nice.
I am so excited to watch
chat
this
again,
trio in the finals.
I love you guys on mobile. You can chat. Just you guys know you can link it.
Whoever made the call for this trio during
I was even following Curly, bro. I'm weird.
Made a little bit of an early one, didn't go necessarily.
I'll show you the break. I'll wait for the break.
But it ended up working out very, very well for them as they were able to hold a lot of the other teams right to claim that space and hold on to that for pretty much the rest of the game. A little bit of a recall though, right? We saw this trio. They were.
Is this the Curly Booger drop? This is the Curly that Rise dropped. Craze is who you're thinking of, who's also already in Grants as well.
Different story this game, right? When we tuned into them, they were on the high ground. I saw like 32 builds on one of them. Just so many mats to work with right there. And when it came down to that 3v3, they were just out-resourced them, out-positioned them. Pretty easy cleanup for them at that point. Victory Royale, we're going to be seeing that trio in the finals.
Oh man, I can't.
Yeah, I can't remember when we did the math recently, J Frank. I think Maris did the math. I think we've done. I think it's over $10,000 worth of V-Bucks across the years, man.
Next weekend in the finals. Now, of course, other things transpired in that game. A few other trios stood out, but first, a quick break. I know. When we come back, we'll break down more of the action we saw from that game.
Sorry, Maris, so good.
Be honest, be honest.
One more. Let's pickaxe him.
Yeah, no,
Let's pickaxe him.
150, pickaxe.
Nice. Let's fucking go, bro. Come on.
Fucking crazy.
Fucking crazy. Let's fucking go. So well played, boys. Let's fucking go.
Good shit.
Oh my god, my IGL feels good, bro. I'm actually happy with that.
Nah,
Let's
Coop is
fucking
prime.
go.
Coop is prime.
Let's fucking go. Y'all are so good, bro. Let's fucking go, man.
Fucking crazy.
Nice, bro.
Dude, Reet sounds like he's dying, bro. Reet's voice is so fucked. Oh, no. Dude, Reet sounded worse than I did like a week ago, man. I heard it on stream a couple days ago. I was like, who the fuck is this talking? Chat, in case you guys don't know, that guy at the end was Reet. I'll play it back. Hey, just like... To be fair, though, from that zone, from Flooded Frogs, Cooper actually pulled off a masterclass IGL session. It's a scrappy group, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm sure the surge isn't that high, but still very impressive.
Y'all are so
Wait for it.
good, bro. Let's fucking go, man.
Fucking crazy.
Nice, bro.
That's Reet, by the way. In case you guys don't know, that's Reet.
Oh, man.
Fucking crazy.
Nice, bro.
Like, oh god, Reet. Oh my god, that does not sound anything like Reet. Holy fuck. Yeah, what's up, Reet? Dude, your voice is so fucked, man. I feel for you. That was me like a week ago. I didn't even feel sick. Really? Dude, I'm jealous as shit, man. I felt and sounded like shit. If you just sound like shit, that's fine then. That's great. The timing? Oh, chat, I'm not trying to hide it. Like, it's just sick, man. Like, it's just his voice is fucked up. Like, I'm not, if it was Reet's actual voice, I'd be fucking a dick for making fun of him, but. You looked like shit also? I did. Bro, I still look like shit, man. I haven't been able to shave, get a haircut or anything. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I feel like I'm not even like fishing for compliments, bro. My fucking nose hairs are all gross and plastered in my fucking head. I haven't shaved in like 5 days. My hair's like fucking grown out like shit, dude. I hate being sick. Look at my fucking head then, bro. Yeah, man. I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow, my half day off or full day off, depending on if I watch NA or not, bro. I need to go get a haircut and like, I need to shape up, man. I don't know when the fuck this chest cough goes away though, dude. I'm gonna give it like 3 more days, and if it doesn't go away, bro, goddamn. I appreciate it, guys. I'm not even trying to look for. I wasn't even fishing for comments. Trust me. The camera's doing me favors right now. Oh, I know coded. Fisherman build.
Oh, welcome back, everyone, FM, to the FNCS. We just wrapped up game number 2, where Reet, Coop, and Curly got themselves the victory royale, which means they're good. No more Fortnite needing to be played today. We'll be seeing them in next week's finals for them. Next step is prep. Now, a bunch of other cool things happened in that last game, like the fact we saw Agers, Acorn, and Pollo really come back strong right after that first game, which, like, you know, 11th place like isn't bad by any means, but we kind of just expect so much more from this trio. So to see them kind of,
there's no way this replay again, bro.
I'm so confident.
Oh shit, he's crazy. This was good.
Yeah, and you know, this is the group stage.
180 bop.
Different than what we see out of
Acorn's crazy as shit.
Competition, especially when it comes to Agers, Acorn, and Pollo. I don't think that this is the finals trio that we're going to be witnessing in just a week. And I say that a little bit, you know, assuming that they're going to make it into the
Prime
finals,
5.
but with this trio, you know, they're not having the best few games, but they still have 3 more games to go, Vivid. And even if they aren't able to get that victory royale, with Agers' ability to do those solo clutches, like what we saw from the Major 1 finals.
All right, 2 wins. We got the double dig win. We got Reet, Coop, Curly, and Khanada, Bolts, and Sphinx straight to grands, and literally no one was surprised at all. Then we have Jargu, Ages, Noah, Sinks, Makata, and then level 1 Crook.
Game number 1,
amazing.
It was only like 13 above, so definitely a big difference in between those 2 games.
All right, Acorn, we got to get the hat trick. We got the Dignitas hat trick. Come on.
We go ahead and focus in on
3rd game win.
Please.
Now's the time. Now's the time.
Right here, right? Game number 1, Zeke, 31st, and then this game right here, game number 2, 2nd place.
They did such a good job on the low
It's
ground,
controller comeback
so
season. We do have a lot more
aggressively,
relevant controller
I'm
players
glad that we're gonna be able
this
to
season, I
watch
feel
Noah
like.
get a few
Yeah.
plays there, because as they were kind of going through the low ground there, they were
Fucking
just
W
taking team
Chaos.
by team down, getting all those elimination points. And although you're not able to get the victory royale, jumping up that many placement points is definitely going to make you feel a bit more
Oh yeah, chat. These games are about to be like maximum goof, just so you're aware. Like, because every game we're losing the few like tier 1 teams that are in this game. So like,
some of these zones, they get very, very tough. They're hard to maneuver, and finding yourself in second
you
place
name it, the private
there is gonna
six.
be an incredible feat. And as you can see, when that 3v3 kind of came around, they looked up, they were like, yeah.
Oh, dude,
we don't
if
really
Noah
have
started
material.
charging
Let's
up
just try to
the
do something
baseball bat, he could
fancy here and
actually
go for
sent
some
them.
50-50 shotgun shots.
Wait, there
It's
was
not
a
gonna be
world
working
when
out,
Noah
but,
hit the triple
they're
baseball bat and
at
won
the
that.
leaderboard there, and they're
That could have been
finding themselves in
crazy.
fifth place right now.
And the fact that Noah is actually streaming right now from his perspective.
W
is
Noah.
So cool. Nods to you, Noah. If you're not watching, please go check out his stream. If you'd watch it from that last perspective, I'm sure they were going crazy. We also can't forget technically first place, right? Third. Look at Silic, Jargu, and Kingling. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, Jargu. My apologies. But these guys have been really performing super.
I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
today.
That's how I pronounce it.
I mean, 2 third places back.
Might be
to back.
Yargu,
And in
maybe.
game 1, they had 11 eliminations. They are looking really, really good right now.
Good awareness by Chaos there.
Especially have that
Great
big
awareness.
drum gun in your loadout, you're definitely able to do so much damage and get those storm surge tags that kind of throw some of our newer trios for a loop. Although I say that this necessarily isn't a newer trio, just maybe a trio that hasn't necessarily found their footing just yet. But to see them go into, you know, such a dominant 2 games, I'm guessing the victory royale is within their reach for game number 3, Vivid.
Yeah, 100% would not be surprised with that. And I guess, you know, those dark horse trios, usually we kind of see that one game pop off. And we're like, oh, wow, that was pretty surprising.
You pronounce the U.
Didn't necessarily expect that out of them. And then the follow-up is
Jog?
usually, you know, a little bit of a return. But no, back-to-back kind of proving, hey, listen, we deserve to be in the end of
Are they going to contest Bucky? Is who going to contest Bucky?
Stuff.
And guys, look, we're already at the halfway point. We're about to start game 3, and there's
Yo,
only
Balls, thanks
5
23.
on the
Congrats,
day.
broski. Good shit today, man.
What are you guys hoping to see in these last
What on,
few
what on?
games? Because for a lot of these trios rather, excuse me, like we need to do something now. If these first 2 games we've had any kind of errors.
Ah, yeah, Kingling's a Zone Wars warrior,
we do
Antonio.
not have enough games left to try and piece some things together. It's basically like fail or hit the battle bus.
You know, I think for Acorn,
No, same thing, artists. Anyone with Akron in their name, it's an Akali reference, bro. I didn't start like an Organ. I think people started repping the name. Rapid was the first pro to ever buy my mouse pad and start rocking it. He took it to Globals last year. So I reached out to him and was like, hey, bro, like, you know, you're not an org. I'd be happy to like pay you some money to rep my name. And then like, you know, it's like advertising for me rather than me spending it on like Google ads and shit. And he went for it. And then it kind of caught on. Now a bunch of people just putting their names. I haven't asked anyone to.
Okay. I'm hoping to see more aggression. Let's get more aggressive. Let's have more fights. Let's have more builds off.
Just got a lot of people showing love, man. It's been cool.
We'll see. With that being said, though, game number 3 is ready. So let's hit it.
Well, one thing's for certain. If Zeke said it, that means the script is in. We should see some pretty tamed zones here moving forward. We'll see, though, Jacob.
No, we definitely should see, and I'm liking the switch ups from some of these teams, but with another team outside of the lobby, a big drop spot has just opened up of Flooded Frogs. It was uncontested, so I expect a team, maybe even 2, to try to land over
sandwich
there and
order?
find some success.
I don't really like regularly get sandwiches, man.
The bus is ready. Let's jump on.
As Zeke was alluding to, Monster, this is game 3, the halfway point, and it's pivotal for a good portion of the teams in the lobby if they want to keep that condition of consistency alive. You can maybe have 1-2 bad games, but those rest of the games, you need to figure out a way to perform.
Yeah, I think there's still a chance for teams to pick up the points that you need and punch through consistency.
Where's Chaos? Does he land outside of Hopeful? Does he land to the south or something? Or we're in the game at least. I got scared for a second. We didn't connect.
It's not over just yet, but you're going to need a performance the way you saw Noah's team pull up, right? Noah, Kaz, and Chaos, second place, big eliminations. They are back like they never left, and they're very much in the conversation. But that's not an easy feat. Not at all. Not by any means. Here's a team, though, Jacob, that we saw, I don't know, not have the greatest game at the Crime City. Campo.
Not the greatest game. It was a really good game.
Stuck in the vault, if you remember well.
Need a Seek and Dash win? Yeah, so my Preds are looking good, but not so good. Seek and JoJo, I think, are both shit in the bed. These three, like, those three are the easiest predictions in the world, but...
And you can kind of see them immediately trying to go to work, but a fight from game 1 contested, game 2 uncontested, now game 3 contested yet again. Tyler, he makes a nice shot, but it's just not going to be enough.
Now you're chilling on the stage. Thanks for Prime, man. Chat. Click the link in chat. See if you got a free Prime. Don't forget to use it. No ads, rest of FNCS. And the new season and Pro-Am.
You know he's got just the slight advantage. The pistol's just not enough on the whole cut Tyler inventory there.
Oh.
And, hey, this is what happens. You know, you can't let your guard down just because, you know, a team decides to give it up after a certain
He's grabbed the
round.
TL 5.
Expect them to land on you. And this house, we already talked about it, though. It's just not big enough, right? It's truly not big enough. Barely big enough for a trio.
Big enough for... It's not even big enough for a solo.
You're seeing that a lot of teams switching up their drop spots yet again, going on over towards Demon Dojo. We're seeing this contested.
He died with the Prime?
Both groups 1 and groups 2 so far, and nobody landing flooded frogs, Monster. Can you try to tell me what
Wait,
just
what?
happened?
No one claimed it after Reet won? What?
It's like mind games, right?
How do we have 3 teams at Seaport and no one had flooded frogs?
You know,
Bro,
and
this group is so troll.
You would think all the teams at Seaport City might, of the 4, one of them might say, hey, yeah, let's try the other drop. Let's try something new. Noah got away with Hopeful Heights. Maybe Flooded Frogs be uncontested, but, well, we'll see. Now, the real question is, do you think the next game, or it's going to be 3 teams landing?
Maybe, Johan. Maybe, bro.
I hope not. If
It's
you
been
go
fun,
down,
bro.
maybe outside of the top 25, maybe even the top 20, because placement doesn't come into the top 17, you better be VOD reviewing. Figure it out. See that nobody dropped there. But like you said, the mind games.
Watch there be
you
3
might
teams
start
that
to
next
think
game
it was
now.
Uncontested, you move on over. A couple other teams in the lobby might be thinking the same thing as we jump on board.
So Slick, so chat, how do we feel about this? So Slick said earlier, EU and NA. Now EU I don't know so much about, but I do truly think NA Central should go to 66 teams and only 2 groups.
It's going to be a hard one. It's going to be
Only because it would make play-ins more exciting too. Because top 99 feels a bit mickey for play-ins. And if you make less teams make it to groups, it'll make play-ins feel more substantial, and it would make groups feel more substantial too.
Passenger seat. Yeah, I'm trying to say this.
You haven't been given perms, Reet, so I don't think they would action you. I really don't think they would, but technically they could if they wanted to. Yeah.
Beauty of the way this, you know, season and this year's working out, it's about team dynamic. If your team has the best dynamic with one another, doesn't matter how great.
You Soul Shark in the Prime for 8?
It's going to be hard to beat that. And right now, from what we've seen, Acorn, Pollo, Agers, man, they are a team to look out for.
As we go over to Foxy.
Yeah, I think EU 3 groups, but I don't think NA Central can hold 3. I think NA Central should be 2 groups, honestly. I'm not even saying that just because of today. There's been a few moments in Heat 1, 2, and now 3 where it's been a bit like...
zone to where you can kind of rotate out no matter which direction the zone pulls overall. Obviously, if it does go north, you're going to run and rotate a little bit early, and then you can kind of take advantage of a lot of the other
He lands the tail 45?
as split drops that are nearby.
Oh.
You way back clicks because of his performance in groups. No. Yeah, you don't have like 15 top 5 set lobby finals performances and then have one bad performance and be like, oh, well, there's shit now. Like, come on.
Once again. It's a new team that's actually deciding to kind of rotate into this one.
Andrew, Carbon, and Bologna. They're just kind of just farming up, and I like this over here because this is in zone still. Even with it being contested, you have a lot of chances to kind of farm up, so you're not kind of stuck,
3 spots for LCQ. So LCQ is literally everyone, anyone can play who's eligible to play tournaments. Div 3, 2, or 1, all of them. You're trying to get top 33 in the opens, which is going to be a shit show with cheaters, and just trying to get top 33 is pretty tough. And then that top 33 plays 3 set lobby games. If you win a game, you go to Grands. That's it.
Waiting for the first.
It's going to be absolute cheater fest, though, unfortunately.
It's being a little timid right now. I understand why. You know, Bologna's team on the high ground is just looking out. They've had Bowl Cut, Tyler's trio, or others kind of rotating consistently. But since that team was eliminated, notice they're not making that move, right? It's a new team that's there. So the dynamics here playing out a little bit slower.
Do they cast LCQ? They do not. And my main reasoning for that is I think because they're worried about casting the cheaters in finals. But
nice little piece up right there.
Might also just not be worth getting like the production going for just 3 games.
Andrew also finding tags on the side here, so they're surely taking the lead here.
He rocks this with the prime for 8.
And Antics is in the trio. This is a team on the leaderboard currently, Monster. They sit in 5th place. I know it's early, but they are on the bubble. And we talk about not being able to make mistakes. This is a good swing game. If they can win this fight, put themselves in a nice contention as one goes up over. Great shots on Andrew, forcing him to back up. Baloney feeling the pain as well. No shields. Those just get ripped off. They're forced to disengage, build up, take a little bit of elevation so they can kind of reset in this situation and really start to think, is this worth fighting? Did we get enough damage? Another scanner goes down, and I think that's going to help them formulate the strategy.
I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy. By the 0, you gotta put some respect on that one. Very bold play of him. Jumps into the enemy box there, tries to take that 50-50, and he kind of sets up the pace here. Turns the tide, if you will, for his trio, but I'm not liking the material count by any means here for his team. I think
They used to do production for 1 single wildcard game? Yeah, that's what I mean. So yeah, I guess so.
Antics and Azuri's trio once again.
You watch the West, see if TG makes it? Nah, sorry, man.
Those very critical tags here.
Oh, got up. Yeah, nah. 2 very long days back to back, man. I'm going to end, go have a nap, get some stuff done, get the YouTube video recorded, and then come back and stream my tournament, bro.
So even though they might not necessarily know, this would be a good time to disengage, but as soon as that happens, the splash comes out and they immediately try to jump their way back in. They have the extra pickaxe speed, go ahead and try to take pieces, but Andrew takes another shot, slowing things down. Luckily for him,
this makes me think of the old West Andrew, man. It makes me sad, bro.
He just takes too many shots.
Take me back to the glory days of West, bro.
As well. That leaves Baloney as a solo by himself, trying to back up, but he is out of builds and out of time as the trio in 5th place earns a few more points for that leaderboard.
Listen, I don't know what came over this team, but all of a sudden they went from looking like, I don't know, a little questionable in the pocket there to just straight nasty, hitting all the tags that they needed to turn the whole fight around. And you know what? That's just confidence, man. The difference in this team fighting with like no match.
My tournament starts, I think, at 2 a.m. ET.
Hey, you got your tags, you know, just call it there. But
I think that's what it is.
They have been winning this fight
so it's in like
round after round, and hey, they want to continue the trend.
It's in like 7 hours, 7 hours and 20 minutes.
Now, we talked
so yeah, it's a little bit later, chat. It's for OCE. 40 OCE pros, reload, squads, $15,000, 4 games. It's gonna be fun, man. If you guys missed it, I'm gonna make a YouTube video on it though. Hopefully, gonna have that out in the next few days. But I need to get approval from Epic on that because they're the ones sponsoring it. So.
Sprite, Boji, Core. Nearby, I don't know which team.
I should still agile that.
3 trios in this area. Somebody must have got that armored van, a couple extra heals and loot, which is why you see so many people probably converging in this location to try to steal some of it away or get some damage.
Yeah, don't blame them. Sprite and Boji just moving away from the action right now. It's Diego's team who's kind of getting active right now. Seen some moments of greatness in the previous game.
Nah, just Cassie, man.
Ooh, Agers, Pollo, Acorn seem to have caught someone out of position there themselves. This is right in between the seaport. We saw what they were doing before. Before they were playing a tower here, but it seems like with the zone pulling further west and north this time, they didn't really have enough time to get situated. So
perfect agile W.
Rotate instead.
Hey, you spotted with the prime?
It's usually where they find themselves, or at least threatening that. As Scuffy's just by himself, so far separated. Luckily for him, his teammates are going to be able to stay alive, and the zone is moving north, like you just said. So there is going to be at least a chance to try to get that reboot back. What the loot is going to look like, that's going to be a different question. As the Oxy, Jojo Fishy, Pikes, a lot of action kind of going down around the map, and that's not the action I expected to see, but I feel like at this point I should.
I was like, oh, nice. You know, I love Aoxy. Love, you know, casting over him. Been doing it for years. Let's see what he's got in the replays. Yeah, just a little damage. Nothing crazy.
Bro. I picked this team top 5, by the way. So this isn't like some shit can random team in this group either.
Very, very important, especially when you are fighting for that surge. And they're just trying to go
I'm going to skip EU tomorrow morning, Coombs. I might go live for NA. Reload eval, but we'll see. I'm mostly just doing that for a little VOD review aspect, you know?
In the zone from where they're currently at.
But we'll see how I'm feeling. I got a lot to do tomorrow.
Right outside the.
But yeah, definitely skipping EU tomorrow.
Gates here. It's got a trio underneath him. Got Skizzers and Onsite.
Right next to him.
No way they don't know he's in the cone. They actually don't know he's in the cone. Almost pieces up that player there. I almost would have preferred for him to just throw a cone in the box. Almost had it. Nonetheless, see the confidence coming out of him right now. Big plays being made here.
I think he got the call from one of his teammates. He's weak, completely turns, trying to take that Hido, which is all those zeros. He's in a tough situation. Now the third party coming in.
What is happening, bro? So many teams here.
Some of the pressure,
I think Zeke with the Prime?
Is at, so that way he can try to find a reunite. But there's still that full trio they were initially fighting right above, and they're all going to try to drop down low to try to clean up the eliminations, get the loot, get the HP back up, and even with the scanner down to reveal some positions.
I'm talking to Kasi, and H Kasi you now.
I think it's a new team.
He's 7 MD, think he's in.
By the way, so they've seen the glow up that's happening right here. There's a lot going on right now. And here now we have 3 trios in a fight here. Look at this.
And a duo that stuck their wages all the way on the low ground, just hoping nobody continues to fight their way downward. His teammates up above, trying to play it as a solo, just in case things go awry and they get separated. Liquid, Revort, KSM, thinking about this situation.
Sweetie, hello.
Disengage on out, just a little bit too dangerous for their liking, so they're going to continue to try to move north, which gives them a little bit of flexibility because they can always stop.
We gotta put some clothes on you. Come on. You're holding your nappy.
And try to use that as a way.
Oh, now you dunked a little head on the chair. Okay, 1 second, chat.
Look, he could get caught out pretty quickly there. Meanwhile, back to Flooded Frogs. You got to think Jagger, Silic, and King here are downloading the fact that this place was unlooted completely now that they've managed to rotate in.
Ooh. They're finding Fallen. Winning that off-spawn fight is not necessarily going to be enough. It almost seems like he's by himself. His teammates might not necessarily be anywhere nearby. There might be one player still stuck inside a flooded. Oh my gosh. What? All right, King on Expo. Now's your chance to shine.
I have no more comments for this one.
Chat, I'm just looking at the chat. Can you guys keep a count for us, a rolling count of how many times it's happened today? And I'm just saying, at least it's happening in groups and not in the actual finals, where the mistake would probably mean 10 times more and hurt you 10 times more, if not, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, for sure.
Now we're gonna task Kinch to go back into every broadcast finals game and see if we set a world record today for the most fall damages in a group setting. It's gotta be at this point.
They're just sitting there above. They got the revive. They knew they couldn't get contested because it is just a solo player running around. Fallen, he's just in those tunnels trying to figure out a way out. There is multiple exits, but you see, and he's blocking one off on the other side, trying to bait him on over, and he's going to go to the other side. And this is a duo chasing him, so if he can't separate one into a 1v1, that might be an opportunity to take the play, but he just converges right back into a situation where there's only one way in and one way out.
Sorry, chat.
But they're not
She wanted to pick her up, but she's only in a nappy, and then she dunked her head into my chair. So she got sad.
And he tries to make his way over towards the porta potty, but guess who's waiting on the other side? It is going to be Silic, and he boxes
You missed another major fail? Oh my gosh, really? Bro, what is happening?
This team has got a lot of game knowledge under their belt. The reads there.
Another full damage dead? Bro, we got to get some Kinch stat. Full damage taken in Group 3 versus Group 2. There was an increase of 753% full damage.
By the way, he could have jumped on Silic there, but opted to kind of just wait for his team to catch up.
It was first place as well as Jagi's team. Nice.
And luckily it happened when it did, with HQ not necessarily jumping.
That's what Zeke said about Kinch stats? Nice.
He's trying to third party because they were already down there in the tunnels.
Wait, Zeke? Wait, Zeke said that or Monster?
Resources, materials, everything that
how did Zeke say it?
Zone not too far away, so they can play a little bit of the waiting game.
Hey, what's up, Jimmy?
Vanish and HQ just trying to rotate in. Like I said, the zone is not too far away, so a team like this with
MDF.
so much empty space on that edge.
Monster said it. Okay, yeah, Monster said it. Yeah. Need a full damage stat check. I mean, to be fair, me and Monster worked together for many years, so we've got the chem, same level.
Happening here, we're pulling somewhat to the center mass, moving away from these huge mountains. Look at this. What's happening north of the pump power? How do we have 4 teams here? Wait, my count's off. There's actually 5 teams here. What is going on right now? They're just overstaying their welcome, it seems like, at the moment. Diego's trio, one of the few kind of sitting here, opting to just med miss in a storm right now. Surge is active, mind you, so see everything starting to develop here.
Exclamation mark baby age. She's like What's she? She's like 16 months now? So like a year and a third?
Veer, dash.
Pushing a year and a half, sweetie. You're getting there. You're getting there.
Trying to make it towards the zone. Or maybe even towards the north. They do have an abundance of med kits, some extra HP heals. So there could be an opportunity.
Looks interested in the game. Yeah, she doesn't get a lot of screen time in general. Not a lot of TV and stuff. So this is quite like, ooh, stimulating.
With that game number 1 victory.
Many moving colors and pictures.
Heights. Game number 2, they get a nice second place.
Stalk it. She says certain words.
As it has, I can almost see why
And she babbles a lot, but
below the damage threshold. Great shots with
no,
no
I'm not putting them on. I know you see the photo again. I know.
Any damage.
No.
Noah's clutching up for his team right now. Big time. Big time. This damage right here, they desperately need it.
No.
And I mean,
you can watch this. This Fortnite.
Moments that they're above, that is a huge difference maker.
So they're only 45 above right now.
To buy them some time
So they need to deal damage to get above a threshold. Because there's too many players alive right now. See, those players, they're getting hit by Surge. So they're a good target. Could be free elims.
Oh no, we need those stacks to come through. Chaos.
Now they're below, that's the problem. So they don't do 30 damage now. They're going to take 25 damage every 5 seconds.
They're finding themselves below, and look, they don't have that many heals.
Okay, you'd rather watch the goals. She's like, I don't care. Just like this is boring.
And get out there or something. They got to find an opportunity here ASAP.
And it's not going to get.
So for those of you guys who are new to my stream and haven't seen this, when I do take care of Charlotte and she gets fussy when my wife's busy, I put one of her favorite TV shows on my top monitor. That's why she keeps looking up and pointing at it very excitedly. No.
They're saying, hey, it may not be much. It may be something we have to worry about.
We watched a lot yesterday.
It's enough so we can focus on our rotation without taking that active Sturge damage that you see other teams in the background currently affecting.
Yeah, big difference there in the gold splash to allow them to make that rotate there. Just the difference in finding just a few tags, right, to give him some room to work with. This is it's gonna be hard to climb back from that one for Noah's team.
Stop whinging.
And do keep in mind, they already
fine.
dropped the game. Game 1 earned themselves 0 points in a monster game 2 to kind of even the score. So here and now will be the determining factor, most likely.
Yo, W, MDF, and Jacob for bringing the gas, man.
Playing deep in the storm. Pollo, Aegis, Acorn. Breaking a tower right now. I wonder if they're setting up for the launch pad. Yep, sure are.
All right. Wait, how far in Storm are we?
It's very, very similar to their Major 1 victory of how they were rotating in some of those later games, using a lot of the launch.
What's her favorite show? I won't say it, but it's WIGGLES. It's a very popular kids show in Australia. They've also gone international, but extra popular in Australia. It's an Australian group.
Which is going to be Acorn's last, immediately having to go.
Yo, we're on 98 points. If we have a dud, no, it's game 3 of 5. I keep thinking it's game 4. Never mind. I was like, if we have a dud game here, when do we start getting nervous?
And try to find an easy crevice so they can position their way inside.
Yeah, I was actually most concerned about the fact that Noah's team is here, and clearly Noah's team is in a bit of a
Noah struggling here after a great game too.
Here, and he's lost his squad, and he goes for it and wins it in the end. The Siphon's going to keep him alive. Chug,
yeah, it's the fish.
There to work with, and pressure from the lobby now is going to.
I don't know if she has a favorite, Jimmy.
6 points this game. Pretty difficult
you
position to be in now.
Here you go. Depot. Here you go. Yeah.
It's just tough. It's just tough just seeing another game escape you, especially after the confidence they had after game 2. Antics is already onto their position on their leaderboard with their trio 486 damage above the threshold. That's that constant early game fights over towards Whiffy Wharf, getting all 3 of those eliminations and the damage along the way.
You want Sneaky?
Not as much to worry about for them as we switch on to DK, Polar, and Cynics. They got 6 eliminations. That's going to put them a healthy amount of damage above the threshold. And
120, nice. Oh, no. Not like that, Diego.
Monster, but they were able to save their teammate as well.
It's a great save here. Take a look at what's happening right now.
Where's Acorn? Where's Acorn?
Tracking straight players all outside the bills. They're currently
Exotic House still in the game. This is not the triple shot one. This is the hollow twister one. So it's the accelerated hollow twister. It's not very good. Higgs runs it a fair bit because they spray so much. But oh my gosh, Polar's hitting his shots. Oh my gosh, 5 elims for a reason. I see why they give him the mythic pump. Is this guy like the full carry? He's got the mythic pump and the exotic.
It's their 8th elimination overall.
Thanks,
Now
Catman.
they have exotics, they have mythics, they have an abundance of materials.
Oh, there's Acorn making a play for height, chat. Acorn's on
How they
height.
get out of that situation, being pressured down below. Jardu Silic, King on Expo, 1,000 damage above the threshold. They find another elimination as they
You missed him,
continue to
the
put
tier
down
1.
pressure on the Polus and his trio across. And with this
on
rotation,
your feet.
they're just kind of keep an eye, taking note of where every team is currently positioned so they can try to rotate on over as Day loses his teammates left and right, but they're only down. Now he can try to make a heroic play. It is going to be a 1v1. Champo on the other side. Day baiting. He has the full beast
Nice, Day. Let's go, Day. Day saves the day, baby. Double res. Come on.
By the way, look at this. He's got a chance to save them both.
He can save them both here.
Right back in the game.
And then they can triple bob.
Between him and the Storm to
Oh,
potentially
they can literally triple bob.
Heal off before making this last minute rotate.
Nice. And now triple bob.
However,
They can rotate out the triple bob here.
Comeback situation there. Take a look
Oh,
at it
you're no. Oh,
Jan's perspective there. So he gets the first one, he goes down, and then Day follows up with the two.
no way. Day gets the 1v2.
That was a
Two-piece
clean
chicken
end off
nuggets.
to Champo. Unfortunate for them, he was just lost.
Oh, Pollo on the high ground. All right, the dig hat trick. Back to back dig wins. Come on.
Acorn's team played the Storm line perfectly to the very end and then goes straight up to high ground now. And do keep in mind, they were one of the last teams to rotate in, but they had max material count because they had all
Oh, yeah, they're healthy. Okay. That storm play made sense.
And they also have an abundance of extra
Bro, this
heals,
group
which
is
you
going to
see a
get
lot of the
so
resources
Mickey if
lacking
Acorn wins
at
this,
stage
though.
of the game in a far pool, which means they're not going to be able to hold on to height. They have to jump down.
The tier 1s are literally just taking turns to see who wins. Like, this is the 3 tier 1 teams just gone now.
To try to kind of crank up yet again, but they're going to get challenged on the other side. That's Core jumping on over.
Maybe not, though. Maybe.
Try to put some
Challenge?
damage down, pressure the other team.
Bit of a challenge here. Okay, Sprite.
They have to give up height in order
Yo,
to make
Sprite
that
really
happen.
wants height. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things, right, where you
Oh, they're
can
getting
fight
chopped.
for high ground.
Oh, they're getting
However,
chopped.
because they opted to
They
rotate
got
early,
chopped.
Sprite's team rightfully took height there. And look, they're just playing the long con game here, editing out, saying, yeah, y'all want to build on top of us, don't worry, we got something for you. The Sprite seems pretty content to commit to this high ground right now, a little prematurely, loses his teammate in the process here. And just like that, they're down to
Oscar, who do you think's winning grands, bro?
for this last. And
Give me your top 2 to win grands.
out here. Meanwhile, Decay and Cynics, after a monster mid-game.
Is that OG Sprite? It is OG Sprite, chat. Game target Sprite.
Still getting busy, still getting active, though. A lot of plays in the tank here for them.
Yeah, decent amount of materials, not the most healthy. Double rotation. And they have that mythic collateral AR, which shreds through these builds. And if it can land onto a target, almost an easy elimination as Phenom takes out Zol, big stage.
Oh, sweet. You're not even actually upset. You're just complaining for the sake of it.
So they're going to be stuck as a duo trying to work their way through the rest of this game.
Look at this. Pollo, Aegis, and Acorn on the low ground right now, playing front side. Met with resistance, though. A team's just going to box them out right here. The Reeds, though, showing them that they can go left. Gonna do just that. Day's team on the top side, though, just kind of sitting still, sitting pretty here. Take a look. Fight's gonna break down here, potentially on this low ground layer.
Taking their time, crouching, and they're just trying to pounce all at once. I saw that as a chance to take down a duo, but they find a solo on the other side from one team to the next.
Ready?
Nothing's
What is
gonna
it standing?
slow
What
down, or
stands?
at least
We
not
stand. Ready?
just yet.
We'll cheer on
As the shots
Pollo.
continue to fire back.
Pollo.
That's True on the backside of their tarp that's trying to make their way in. Acorn is separated. Pollo gets dropped in, but he figures out a quick way to escape and survive. But you see there's no extra
You a P
heals
fan,
in
are
their
you?
inventory.
Yeah, he shouldn't have made it out of there, but somehow jumps out of the box in the final seconds. Ayatu's trio is on high ground, by the way, at the current moment. Meanwhile, King, Jargu, and Silic might just be doing enough to...
Oh, Aoxy, wait, this is one of my top 5 picks. Come on. Come on.
They all but right their way to the grand finals for the first time for that trio. We'll see if it can happen for Aoxy, Pikes, and Jojo Fishy. They've been in this position before. They know how to
Oh,
play
wait a
these
second.
types
It
of
might not be the
high
Acorn
grounds. I can see
win.
them definitely
It's only Acorn
securing
Pollo
this
now.
dub
No,
right
Age still
now,
there.
but
Never mind.
It's not going to be easy. Take a look at what teams
Nice,
are still out here.
Pollo.
Pollo, Aegis, and Acorn
Come
are
on,
now
Pollo.
starting to really heat up on the low ground.
Actually, I don't know if I want them to
Yeah,
win,
it's
because I
his
kind of
third
want
elimination.
to. I want to
Dropped
care
these
about
moving
watching them win the
zones.
next game or
They
the game
never took
after.
up. Looking toward the backside of zone, trades a shot, but he just takes a little bit too much damage. Luckily, though, the Siphon comes in, so a little bit of HP lost is right back
Pollo
up to
goes
TikTok
down.
shape, but he
To
goes
who?
in for a 50-50, goes down. Acorn and Agers are now stuck as a duo in a world full of trios.
Yeah, he kind of had to. There's just no more heals on this team here. They're really running low.
Hi, sweetie.
At the
Taking him off this game.
here. They have to find anything. A little medallion pick up there might just make a difference. Maybe it's got the shield bubble attached. Who knows at this point? But Agers is there, still trying to work through the mid-ground layup. Meanwhile, the low ground, Polus is at the front side of zone. King, the last man standing for history. Another top
Come on,
five
Acorn.
situation
Wait,
unfolding
Abdullah
for
solo
them.
clutch.
It's all
The
Acorn
quota
now,
grants. The
just clutching
storyline.
out points
Zero
here
builds.
as Agers is
Literally
down.
0 builds. Come on, we don't need him.
Acorn here.
We don't need him.
Trying to wait for the bounce back.
We don't need him.
Didn't get to pick up those bandages, unfortunately. Now sizing up
Come on,
the
Acorn.
other side.
He's
What
got
is
the
he
original
gonna do here?
FNCS axe as well. Big flex.
Trying to make it work, but
Oh, never mind. Polus. Oh, never mind. Oh, hell no. Never mind. Hey, one of my other picks, though. Top 5. Let's go, Aussie.
Fishy. It's like taking candy from a
Hey, Aussie's gonna win it, sweetie. Aussie's gonna win it. 3v1. Wait. 3v1? 3v1? W. Let's go, Auxie. What were the pen odds?
Right back to the lobby. The team that has stuck
Hey,
together
3%.
from major to major is making
3%
another
odds.
final.
Hey, sweetie, sweet, chill. 1 second. I'll take it in. I'll take it in in a second. 1 second.
Production, you know, we showed Aoxy.
All right, let me run the Pred chat. All right, chat. We'll make it Aoxy. 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 I'm just gonna take Charlotte back downstairs.
They get back victory royale, and they breeze their way through that high ground hold. And you know, it was a little bit of an interesting end game, going through a full building. All of the teams deciding, hey, you know what, we're gonna try to up into this low ground layer, and that was the demise of the
Sorry, chat.
lobby.
Doesn't look that fussy.
Well,
I'm trying to avoid just giving it every time she gets fussy.
After they had the chance for height, take a look at it from Pipes' angle here and all of these other types.
So guys, what was the V-Bucks? Type the word Aoxy in chat. AOXY Aoxy.
Smooth sailing. Yeah, it was like top 7, top 8. Every other team outside of them were duos or solos. They did have no reason to drop down. Up
I saw Mobile with Prime. I'll show you the link in a second, bro. I'll put the link in chat in a second for you, man. When chat's not spamming so hard. You darts at the Prime?
2 finals, but that is game 3 done. Zeke, Kelly, Vivid.
All right, so I got 3 of the wins so far.
I feel like I'm in.
So we got yes,
shock.
we got yes,
I don't know
yes, and
what happened.
yes.
But the fact that for like so long there was no one on height, but for Aoxy, Jojo Fishy, and Pikes, they were like, this is it. This is our moment. This is going to take us to the Major 2 finals, and now we will be seeing them next weekend. Congratulations to the trio. You've just got to feel so good for them. I'm sure they're going crazy.
Oh, 100%. And we saw them make it into the finals as a trio last major as well. They did end things off.
All right, 10 more seconds, chat. We'll call the giveaway.
As a relatively new trio, is a pretty good position to be in. But with that game that we just saw,
my clock getting worse?
You know, I'm excited to see how they're going to be playing out in the finals. For me, though, watching them control high ground here, because it looked kind of like, you know, Acorn's trio just gave it up. There was someone that tried to steal from it, but even the team that tried to steal,
it was
backed
Sprite's
off as well.
team.
And so
Sprite went for it. They went for the
open
chop,
for
and then they
about
just
40
kind of gave it up.
seconds, that's when Aoxy was able
Hey,
to
Sad,
take
thanks,
advantage of it and go for that high ground. And you know, for me, Vivid, sometimes the best way to win a game is to let everyone else play the game for you. So as just so much chaos is going
that's my AO strategy. That's my pro am strategy.
That's
my pro am strategy.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those scenarios where the team that actually ended up stealing the high ground, they just ran out of mats. They tried to drop down Aoxy's team. They were fully aware of that. They saw that happen, went up, and they just went up so late, right? That was like 10th, 11th zone at that point. Very, very hard for any trio to kind of contest them up there. So Kelly's kind of like, oh yeah, everybody else is just playing the game for them.
See you, Dad Sleep. Have a good one, bro.
To go ahead and contest them. But a great game for Aoxy and Co. right there, because they were in 20th place on the leaderboard prior to that game. So consistency, top.
Oh, nice, man. Thanks, Prime, man. Yeah, that link there, bro. That's the easiest bet to Prime, dude.
Secures the deal for them.
Oh man, you've already just
what happened to Seek, Dash, and Veer? I don't know. They started getting surprise conned, which
plenty of these trios trying to make.
When I picked them in my top 5, they were unconned, but
or get that victory royale. We'll talk about more of that after this break. That's right. I know. We'll be right back.
Yeah, I guess they're just not handling being conned, man. Making me regret my choice. Who landed frogs that game? No one. 0 people. We had not a single team land frogs, man. Is Jojo Fishy's second grand? Yeah, I don't know why I was so confident. I don't know why I was so confident. I just had a good feeling about it. You spared the tier for 2. We'll check leaderboard now, actually. What do we got, chat? What do we got? Wait, why am I not on it? Wait, what the hell? So we got Jargu still in first. Probably already qualled. We've got Ages 163. We got Jay's team. Nice. Polus was moving that game. Then we got Cynics, Eulogy, and then Sprite. Noah's just outside. Day's outside. Chavi's team's outside. Bro, what the hell? Dude, where the hell's... Yo, what? 25th, 24th, and 20th. Damn, my pick for them was a stinker. My other picks are all looking good, but wow. Unlucky. What is going on there? Am I crazy, chat? Were they not one of the favorites? Like, this was uncon when I picked them, but still, even con, they should still, like, this is not that hard of a group. I wouldn't have had them in my top 5 if they were con, but I would have still had them in my top 10. Any space for the tier 1? How you doing, bro? I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well, Jules. How you doing, homie? To be fair, everyone's Seaport may have messed up, right? I don't even know. Yeah, wait, you said the first time, bro? Everyone thought you were dumb then, man. Just chill. Like, I just did too. The amount of people judging Grant's performances on groups is insane to me, chat. We will have to wait and see in Grants, man. But people judging, like, people taking, like, multiple Div 1 finals performances and then weighing groups above it just blows my mind. I don't get it.
So we're back. So welcome back to the FNCS. It's that time. We are now at the halfway point, which means my stress levels through the roof. This last game, Aoxy, Jojo Fishy, Pikes got themselves a victory royale in a game where no one was up on high ground, and they said, well, sounds good. We'll go ahead and claim ourselves a seat on the battle bus going to
Apple time with the Prime.
Finals. We'll see you there. Now, of course, there's a couple other things that were going on in that last game. Agers, Acorn, Pollo. I mean, you know, again, we're having another game where we are 4th places back to back. Last time in game number 2 was a 4th place with 5. Now we're at 4th place with 8. It looks like we're really sticking to this consistency plan, which I like, right? I'm curious to see if they'll just go ahead and take a victory royale. But you know, consistency.
Not calling. I'm calling it, Jack. Do you call it enough, or I can time you out for a week if you're wrong?
I guess I'm not surprised they've not.
I'm sick of these weak ass like
you know
hot predictions where there's no real, like, there's no cost if you get it wrong. You can just like say ludicrous shit and then claim it when it's eventually right. We need some, like, you know what I mean? We need a cost. It needs to be a risk. Otherwise we're just saying shit.
Well, they didn't win a game, so
are we wagering a 1 week timeout, Jack?
Neither does the reigning champs from Major 1. But no, in reality, Agers, Acorn, and Pollo, they just haven't had exactly the right setup that they are used to having. They do such a good job kind of sticking to the storm throughout the early and mid game.
I think that's fair.
Rotating in a little bit later once we do get into that end game, and it just hasn't really worked out for them just yet. They gave up high ground so early, Vivid, and there was even a moment where
I apologize. No, you're all good. You're like,
it was a bit of a misplay, but obviously it's Acorn, Agers, and Pollo.
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah,
I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just.
That would be one of those games where
we got a lot of people just like saying shit at the moment. We need some kind of like, we need like, you know what I mean?
Some of the key points.
There's got to be something on the line.
Yeah, they gave up high ground, which I actually didn't mind so much because it's like, oh, they had so many materials that they could just continuously go to the front side of the moving zone, kind of claim some areas around there all the time. But they kind of staggered themselves a little bit, right? They kind of held back during those moving zones and didn't actually go for any of that space up there. And then also,
Fanboy Bobby's been a player for a long time though. Kind of like Bumboy.
He was knocked down and
where it just kind of like was a name they had that branding, so I guess it's like you can't action. I don't know.
Probably learn.
I think he's there for a season. I think he's Zeech, Fees,
Appetite. Still a very good game for that trio.
Yeah, right. Let's just work on the consistency. Let's just
Wait, you're just the biggest fucking Pollo hater I've ever seen, bro. What are we saying? What? Jack does have a valid point, to be fair. Even Pollo can slip up under pressure. He's literally the 4-time in a row FNCS champion.
I'm so sorry.
In the last over year of Fortnite, he has not once slipped up under pressure. We're just saying shit.
Play Fortnite. I'm gonna go get it.
Like, just admit you hate them. It's fine.
These guys are really
Just don't try and pretend there's like an actual reason behind it. You just fucking hate
ahead
him.
of everyone else in the lobby, and we've continued to see Kingling in this kind of like solo situation where he's just super clutching, you know, these valuable points, whether it's eliminations or just living long enough to earn placement. Like,
they're literally the second most consistent team right now, the rating FNCS champs. Like, what are we doing?
You said that, you know, you don't know too much about them, but I think that's going to be changing over the next few majors because this trio has just really been surprising all of us. And for me, Vivid, what really stuck out was when they kind of had advantage and they had mats and heals, they were staying at the front of zone on low, which is a great way to get eliminations, more refreshes. But once they started losing health, losing mats, they stayed to the backside of it. And we talked about at the start of the show, those micro adjustments as the games are going on. And we can see that although 6th place is their worst performing game yet, being able to get 7 eliminations, it's what's holding them up in our 4th place spot.
Yeah, they're doing very, very well. Another play that kind of stood out to me, that game right there would be Pollo. I mean, he was just on an absolute tear as a solo, even taking out the likes of Pollo in a 1v1 situation. Finally also taking out Eaters at one point of that as well, and Acorn as well.
Yeah, Casey. So if you win a game, they give you 1,000 points to guarantee the quality. Like, puts you at the top of the leaderboard.
As you can see, here's gonna
it's just to make the leaderboard look nicer as well.
Total eliminations for his trio right there. Incredible game from them. 3rd place, 10 eliminations. Going to be the best game for this trio by far.
And I like Paulus. It's crazy to me. He's only been in 1 FNCS finals before this. And I mean, watching, you know, those games right now, I think we might be able to make that number 2 for Major 2 finals.
Whoa, I like it. I like it, Kelly. Okay. Guys, 2 games left to go. If we're playing for consistency, that's gone. That's out the window. So we need to target a victory royale here and now. As the pressure mounts, we got to join that battle bus once again to see how this next game plays out. So Jacob PR, Monster D-Face, take it away.
I would be lying right now, Monster, if I said I wasn't necessarily on the edge of my seat waiting to see how these next 2 games will play out. Yesterday, the point.
Wait, I'm gonna show you your match. I'm gonna show you your message history, bro. I want to show you what you're calling a bit of an agenda. You joined stream.
Yeah, you know, and it came really
and you said it's crazy how Pollo was struggling in these lobbies. He's finishing grands levels. Not gonna lie. It's crazy how Pollo was struggling in these lobbies. He's finishing grands level lobbies. Not gonna lie. 1 minute later, by the way. But if he can't crack it in these lobbies as a tier 1 trio, then how can he beat Peterbot?
No one is safe.
Jack does have a valid point, to be fair. Even Pollo can slip under pressure. What do you mean a bit of an agenda, motherfucker? You're just a hater. It's just weird as fuck.
Give us the action. Be that big name team.
Stop being weird, man. You can like Khanada and not fucking just say shit about Pollo. It's so unnecessary. I don't get it. It's just based on nothing either. He's just playing Fortnite, man. He's just doing his thing. And he's 2nd right now.
They clearly have a very sound strategy, and I like that they're just.
I'm not just like yelling at people for nothing. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know why we're just hating on people in the Fortnite scene right now.
A high ground agenda.
Yeah, and typically, you know, a team like this, Agers, Pollo, Acorn, you know, Kelly was kind of talking about it, you know, with some of our other top teams in the other group stages, not necessarily winning a game, their mind is on getting reps in these style of lobbies. If they can compete and not win a game, but still stay at the top of the leaderboard, that goes to show that when the pressure's on.
He's rage bait. No, chat, you can't just excuse every dumbass message rage bait. It's not rage baiting.
City, the contested fight all day long.
This isn't how rage baiting works.
Already trying to go for a sneaky play where you would typically think that he's trying to go ahead and get that vault, open it up with the rest of his team. He's actually
can't just claim rage bait when you get called out on stupid ass messages. It's not how it works.
Yeah, I like this play right here. I definitely can appreciate how personal this is now becoming between Champo's trio and Chris is on the other side of the wall. One thing to note is that Chris Wagerbot, they've just been playing a little bit sharper on the day. They've definitely gathered and garnered up a lot more points. Meanwhile, Cosmo, Thug Beast, and Champo kind of struggling to get past this early game and really set up themselves for success for an end game. So
who's getting the train?
They're going to be one of the few teams that are going to be dependent
what's
on
happening.
that victory royale now, right? If you didn't have a great or strong showing in game 3, you're pretty much off the pace right now. You need a huge game in game 4 to kind of be in that consistency. And that's why I want to see what Noah Plays and team can do to adjust, right? They somehow found themselves in the money and then out of the money all in one quick swing. So a roller coaster of emotions happening across the board. Here's the drop though of Flooded Frogs, Jacob. Last game completely uncontested, and it seems like, hey, a couple teams did decide to come on in.
Yeah, whether they're VOD review or just simply watching the entertainment on the stream, they saw it. And now they're trying to take it for themselves, but a last player, that's going to be Clixie, going to be the first one going down.
All right, so we've got someone at Flooded Frogs now at least.
DrewBot just trying to go for the side shot to finish it off, but they need to be careful. They need to finish this quick. The third party is already in the distance, trying to loom in. The Menman smoke
oh, we're
down.
whiffing.
That's going to buy DrewBot some
I'm going to assume we can't see. Oh, sorry, camera's too high. Sorry, chat. I'm going to assume we can't see with these whiff shots.
In, but luckily it is a 3v2, a huge numbers advantage that has saved the day in this fight.
It's the first for them too, winning a fight this early that fast. They've had a bit of a, I don't know, a back and forth, if you will, on most of their early game situations. Look at this, KSM grab forward Liquid right now, trying to set up quick ambush. Seem to have a slight advantage right now over Cully.
We got anybody knowing the comp scene other than Pollo in this group? There's some people, like you've got like, Pollo's the main team, but you've still got Seek's team in this one as well. You've got like Day, like FNCS winner Day. You got like OG Sprite in here. Noah, Chaos, Noah and Chaos Gaming. There's still quite a few, man.
Brings him right back into the action.
Full boxed up his opponent, got out, and still went back in for the Reed challenge. And I like the decision. Instead of just getting greedy, trying to finish off that last and final elimination, there's still a lot of players hunting for Surge on the north side of the map, something that they themselves has been going through all day long. And that third-party team finally revealed their position, going up and over the visual audio, playing a huge role in them trying to stay down low, survive, but they are trying to look for that down. They know
Savage Con at this point apparently no. I'll talk about it a little bit in tonight's video, chat. I'll do a little bit of like a preview of the grand strong maps. I won't do like a full prediction video, but I'll do like a little teaser before we get the last three teams.
So they get their drop, they get to rotate really quickly, and notice the difference. They get straight to the action. So they are a team that is absolutely dependent on early game battles, whether they're, you know, being landed on or rotate into the action.
In my tank, Pete? Nah, man.
I like
haven't had any fish in a while.
So far, it does seem to be working in their favor.
Where's Savage landing? He's going to go the mountain next to Mast, because Veno now wants to go Mast as long as Fred Oxy doesn't make finals.
Consistency, it will come through getting a good number of eliminations and maybe a top 5, top 3. At least you put yourself in contention of getting 2 different scenarios to qualify.
Thanks, Pete. It's because none of them have died, Pete. Like, I've just got a fully stocked tank, and it's just doing well, man.
And it doesn't look like anybody favors this position. Even with the height advantage, they're going to choose to kind of disengage.
But honestly, I don't know why I got a feeling that Fred makes it through LCQ. You know what I mean? There's certain teams that you just, not even whether they're good or not, it's just certain teams you feel like, man, it would really fuck up the storylines if this team made it, so you just know they're going to. I just have a feeling Fred's going to make it through LCQ. Just to fuck up Veno's FNCS. It just has, I have just, you know, the script is going that way.
They came here to kind of ease up off the pressure, and you know what? It might even be Acorn's trio potentially rotating on the outskirts. We'll keep a close eye on who's that.
It was like when the Frenchies qualified to Con Cami. You just saw it coming, you know?
Yeah, I saw
it. was just building up all season, and then it happened, and we're all like, yeah, fuck it. Of course it was going to happen.
And their team, they always are looking for Surge through these bases, and as soon as they kind of hear that a fight's going down at Hopeful, they know it's contested, and I think Veer, Dash, and Seek probably felt some of those shots or heard the pressure coming in.
But they're on 12 points. What has happened? Genuinely, what's going on with this team? I love Seek too, so I'm so confused what's going on here.
And hopefully Noah, Chaos, and Kaz has got that same memo, so they don't just kind of run out there thinking the original team that we're fighting is gone, so it's safe, because there's that danger looming, and they have a huge elevation advantage over Hopeful Heights.
Well, the crazy part is Acorn and the rest of the team have noticed Veer's trio, and they're actually focusing them now, the team that was winning the engagement at the Hopeful Heights. And you know what? Dash, Seek, and Veer rotated out on, I would say, a good call.
Yeah, this is a good team. This team is like 100% a top 5 team in this group.
To Pollo, and look, Pollo's already on the move here, looking to cut them off, and they're hot on the heels.
Yeah, and they already got some early damage on the Seek as he was trying to alleviate some
of the pressure. Veno said he's not going back to the hill. At least today in a call with me and Savage, says he's not going back to the hill.
Acorn continues to push up. He's going to be on the flank just a little bit. Pollo's taking the charge on the other side, and Ager's just kind of feeling the situation out, waiting to see what kind of breaks down here so he knows which teammate to help overall as Pollo continues to land shots onto that team down below.
Team in the Prime 7. Who's your unrated team for the win?
Veer down to 50 HP or less.
Sprite. Definitely Sprite right now, man. He keeps positioning for height, and he's showing a lot of confidence for it. If Sprite gets the height like he wants, you could definitely get a win here.
I kid you not. a great
Oh
lead
no,
over
Acorn's
Noah's
King
full
Veer,
trio. If you just
no.
go back and look at
Well,
it,
game
and
5,
all of a
Veer's gonna
sudden
have to
now
win
they're
it.
forced into a very desperate spot now. Who wants to be in a box fight with a 4x Pollo?
Oh,
And then
no.
you got Acorn here, the 4x as well. And Agers, of course, to back it up. Like, this is
Oh,
just,
boy.
This is terrible.
This is just one of those situations where you even kind of look back at Noah, Chaos, and Kaz. Oh, thank gosh that happened. We're able to disengage, play the rest of this game out. So if they got a high placing in this one, you know who to thank for the most part. Is Pollo just takes a little bit too much damage.
Nice.
Great shot by Dash, but
Maybe
falling
Acorn
on it, he
disengages?
tries to reunite with
Third
the
party
rest of his
coming in,
team, so they
maybe?
don't get pressured by Acorn and Agers.
Why is it a duo? Why is there a duo
Just saying,
pushing
man,
it?
No one wants to fight the champions, right? And that's what's happening here. But, oh, as I'm gassing him up.
Oh my
Dash
God,
is
Wit was
like,
correct. We're
"Monster, oh,
crumbling."
my soda. I'm getting in the
Wit had
mix
the
here.
script.
And all of a sudden,
What the fuck?
he's got the lead.
Oh my
up,
God, wait, we're crumbling.
and Acorn sent running.
What is going on?
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
Dude, why has
Phenom
groups been
Trio,
so
see
fucking
what's
goofy on
happening.
NA? Not even NA. We had
Agers now
Malibuca come
punished.
10th. We had Clicks come
The
10th. And now we
entire
actually
time
have a
starting to
reality
turn
where
on its
maybe
side here.
Acorn's team might not make it. They almost
see the
definitely
cost
will,
of
but like the fact we
35
even
goes
discussed it
left
is
just on the
crazy.
dash.
Oh, this was like big
Not
misplay by
sacrificed here.
Pollo.
He just left the roof open and Dash dropped
Oh,
right
no.
on top. Pollo goes down. But it does look like they're going to be able to disengage. The big question is if they actually have the reboot card. Because if they do, it's not going to be too long before they get Pollo back into the game. But if they don't, that's where they're going to run into some sticky situations.
Yeah, I'll take the blame for the caster curse there. You know, it's been a while, you know, since we've seen that one, and yeah, I'll take the L. It's okay, guys. Give it to me. Back to
Wit was right.
though. Silic, King, and Jargu.
They're just gonna go
Nice
buy him
little
back
perk
and he's
here
back in the
set
game
up.
chat. Like, what?
Spotted out Boji's trio rotating around the side.
He's gonna buy his reboot. He's chilling.
201 points, right? So a couple of points away from potentially being.
We do that shit in
the
grands though. It's
clear
definitely
for
bad looks.
qualification Slot. We don't know what that cutoff's going to be,
Later.
but
Wait, Dev-
200 seems to be about the sweet spot you want to start jumping into. Be guaranteed through.
Obviously, eliminations can change things up. But
guys
going
find
into
out
this
Viper?
game, this was the team on the line. 5th place in the consistency leaderboard. So obviously where a team like this finishes is going to be so important because they just want to keep themselves in contention, not have to do too much in that last and final game of the day, not let the nerves get to them. And you see them kind of staggering themselves back as far as Whiffy. The zone is pulling towards the south. It does have an eastern
I mean, I
lean
think
on
most
it,
more
and they
just
have no
the awareness
HP,
of leaving the
or at least
roof
Missouri
open and
doesn't. So they're
not
just
knowing
really
the players
fighting for
lurking, dollar.
scraps that might have been left behind on this side of the map.
Yeah, I'm cool with it for now. Just because
Ooh.
they got this full trio takedown
Aiming.
here.
Good search.
Yeah, you can see how it ends up working out.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
look, we're
just
back.
like farm that team over and over at the Whiffy every single game.
You see my
Like they
question.
did get the card, Jacob.
Yep, early on I asked, do they have Pollo's card? Were they able to get it out before they disengaged?
even need Pollo's
did.
card. They can just buy it.
They went back behind Hopeful Heights, got the reboot, and just immediately
so
start
much
making
gold
their way
from-
back over
from,
to Mass Meadows.
Mast.
Because remember, it's uncontested. They know exactly every piece of loot that they did leave behind. So in a moment here, we might not even notice that Pollo had went down with his loadout. Not this one. Let's give it a moment.
Give him a couple seconds. A couple minutes, he'll be back in the action here. Oh, look at this, though. They do have a more favorable zone, yeah, again, comparatively to the last times we've seen them rotating out of the Deep Storm.
How much gold is in Mars?
That bike there, they're looking for their
Is it
armored
4,000?
vehicle that does kinda
Including
land
all the
fire. Who
safes?
looted it? What's left behind? Can they use it for themselves to rotate in? I think that's a good part of their strategy overall. Is Edge, level 1 cook, Bobby, positioned just
Oh, it's
outside of
2,000.
box
I thought it was
floodgates
more than
before you
that.
kinda dip down into
I
the
thought
crevice.
I thought
He's
once
trying to
all
get as
the
much search
gold
as
from
possible.
Lone
You
Wolf
can
got
kinda
taken
see
to
in
their
the
vault,
minimap,
and then they added the
everybody here
safes back.
is
I thought it was like
kinda
3,000 to
spread out in towers of
4,000.
their own. So in terms of opportunity, there's not going to be much unless somebody makes a mistake. As you see Bobby over.
I swear it's more than
peaking
2K.
on that one gets dropped down to about 50 or less HP, and as long as they have the heals, the extra, that might not be too bad of a
You thought it was
situation.
5K?
but
Yeah, I
if
thought it
they
was a lot.
don't, that's where it's going to become one of those situations where they're losing a lot of resources early on.
Yeah, you can see they're kind of in a competitive point range right now.
It's 2K without the
100
saves.
to
Okay, so assuming you get a few saves, it's
threshold
close to like
being
the 3,
difference
4K.
between kind of hanging out inside the top 10 or not at the moment.
Is 2K in the vault alone?
Seaport
Damn.
City
Okay, yeah. So like
seemed
3.5,
to
4K. Yeah.
Kind of simmered out in their
But
favor
usually
this
enough
time
to buy
around.
cards. Yeah.
Take a look at how that all played out for them. So,
We got the Cocos. We're chilling.
Full team wipe with Logan Boy and the rest of his squad. There goes Mike's takedown as well. Back on over to Seek, Dash, and Veer after pretty incredible turn of events. They had to base down for a couple moments, and they've seemed to have gotten their bearings back under them.
Come on, Veer. Come on, son. Clutch it up. I'm kind of happy that it was Pollo's team that messed up a bit against Veer, though.
Black market. And then I see a whole nother trio. I can already tell you that's Acorn, Aegis, and Pollo revisiting the black market. They have the abundance of gold, so a lot of those extra heals that they're about to get is really going to be useful.
That make Mars top 3 POI? Yeah, Mars is
the fire pit
just a
again.
top 3
You want to
POI,
kind of
man.
conserve the chug. You want to conserve the med miss smoke, so that's HP.
Mars
they
and
can
Lone
use
Wolf are the
later
two
on
best
in the game.
POIs.
And if you're lucky enough to carry all the way towards the end game,
Prime with
that's
Train,
really
but I'm not even
where
calling that a
it is
POI
potentially
because
going to
literally
be a
only
difference
Pete gets that. So
Yeah, gotta bring it to the
it's not even a
end game.
POI.
Love
That's
to
just
see it.
Pete.
Dash, Seek, and Veer. What's going on here? Little dead side rotate here down to the side.
No, 2 hours beforehand, free zone. We were going to run, my cup was going to run 1 hour before the reload was supposed to start, before they added the reload. Now they've added it. We're going to run it from 4 till 6, and then the pros can go play the reload cup. Because we're starting at 4 and we're only running 4 games, so
Probably got to
they'll be done by the time the reload cup starts.
Not too many teams land back there, so if a reboot did happen, you almost can kind of
A
make
POI.
good guesses to who it is. But they're not just going to kind of get lost. They want to make their way in towards zone. They know how hard these games have actually been in terms of being able to position correctly. As we jump on board, Amplify, Lorzis, and Shiny Cat. They were one of those teams. They made it pretty deep into that last game. They've given themselves an opportunity here with 90 points on the leaderboard. They're down outside the consistency, but if they can have another one of those performances, figure out a way to kind of mirror it, they'll be at least in the driver's seat able to control their own destiny going into Game 5.
No one in the
What's top 3 without Crime with Train? Probably Seaport. I think Seaport's probably the 3rd best.
Shiny Cat. Their team's doing pretty decent, Jacob. 90 points, not bad. We'll be keeping a close eye on Amplify and Lori there. Let's get on over to Day's trio. Not sure where Day's hanging. Probably at the base of this setup right here. Depending on Aloe. Yawn up top. So
You expect E to go as it did
right
today? Kind of, yeah. I think I had Wheat and Ilusha to qual and they didn't. They were in 12, unfortunately.
Of how these games have been throughout the course of the day.
Shiny Shafts? I can't really get a good gauge on Shiny Shafts, but yeah, probably Shiny, yeah.
That you want to take to try to end up in a close box fight.
It depends how you play. Shiny and Seaport are both really strong. Kind of depends on how you play.
Clash against Noah and Chaos, that is going to be left. And even though you might be down on Surge, not necessarily keeping the most up until this point, you have a great position in zone. And a team like this will probably be kind of hedging their bets on they can hold.
Come on,
this
Chaos.
position.
Big game,
They
son.
can
Come
find
on.
Surge later on. You see them in the distance there on the bridge, moving up onto another team, trying to break down that high ground, even though Kaz's was just dropped, knocked overall. Noah, Chaos, waste no time trying to get him back up, and you see they're waiting until they rotate to start to use those heals because they don't want to waste it just trading for Surge.
Well, here's a team that's on the bubble right now. Yusuf, Phenom, and Eulogy. And they're in a desperate situation here. Big pressure coming in as they try to make their way to the edge of the storm here for Zone 5. Shots coming in from the mountaintops.
So what is the actual schedule this week? Is it 2 days? So we got eval cups the next 2 days, and then is it LCQ then solos then grands, or is it solos LCQ grands?
Nice and pretty here. Back talk.
Okay, it's LCQ solo then grands. Oh, it's only 1 day. It's only solo opens. Okay.
Seen some pretty decent plays come out of Tex here today.
Sorry, chat.
But as of right now, still a
battle. So 2 days eval cup. 2 days last chance solo then grands. Oh, grands is so soon.
About making their rotate.
Sorry, chat, that was me. I'm sorry, my calendar was on Outlook. I'm sorry.
I don't know what the maze is like underneath. I saw them sneaking up. I was like, is this gonna work? Where does that tunnel leave? Right underneath.
Okay, we're ready. Let's go for 29.
To me, it's just like such a Fortnite visual. Like 3 guys in blue suits, just like in the sewer. Like, there's so much happening here. And they're just hanging out, you know, no problems. They got the damage they need. And they're at 135 points too.
Not during Easter weekend, please, Aussie. I'm sorry. You're on holidays. Breathe. It's Easter. It's 420. Your boss doesn't need you. It's fine.
Game 4th on the consistency leaderboard, moving up into 3rd with those eliminations. So things already looking right for them. As long as they
Oh,
continue
Acorn,
to pull zones,
Pollo
there's
Names
not
in the
much they're
car,
gonna
looking
have to do at
good.
this stage in the game, especially with 2 teams positioned above. There's a full fight breaking out just outside of where they're at, Foxy Floodgates.
What
Josh
the?
lost his teammate Bleaks. Him and FNX just trying to stay alive. His drops drop down to just 9 HP, trying to survive. Mini's going down. They just got to figure out a way to kind of reunite, and they do so with ease, which means the splashes are going to come out. Even though they lost their teammate, they're still going to have to make this journey over to the other side of the map. Almost a max pull for everybody on this side of the zone.
And Crook here somehow falling himself at the bottom of this base. Edge trying to come down for the save. There's an opponent here just listening to what's going on. Here comes the double save. Okay, it's going to be a quick pickup. Meanwhile, Decay, Polar, and Cynics exit the sewers. They're making their rotate right now amongst all the chaos here.
All right, chat. We got eyes on Seek and Acorn. Come on.
Telling now.
I wouldn't mind Sprite to get a win. Would be kind of cool. Data Qual, Noah Chaos to be good. Come on.
They're going to end up on top of one another.
Come on.
There's going to be some significant battles unfolding here shortly between some of the stronger teams on the lobby.
Jixie, Zach, Polish just kind of full tarping their way in. And typically you see some teams trying to tarp and use as little builds as possible.
Pollo doesn't win a game? I'd be very shocked. Yeah, I'm guessing Pollo wins this game or next game.
Above the damage threshold. They know for now it's not going to be a main focal point, but as this game continues, like we've seen from the 3 previous games, that threshold continued to rise each and every moment as they take that slow rotation all the way out towards the side. They make their way in just to the south of
I did,
Prime
TDH,
City.
I did,
There's
yeah.
one team positioned right next, and maybe a couple more after. And see another team trying to make their way outward. Only 61 damage above the threshold. Not where you necessarily expect to see
Bobby. Bobby solo.
Seconds and the damage started to rack in. Take a look at Bobby going on. In the storm right now. Kept the build open, unfortunately.
What is going on? Oh, no.
To Yusuf, Eulogy, and Phenom. That's another squad that was, again, very much in contention for a top 5 pace falls here. Decay, Cynics, and Polar taking full advantage of the loot opportunity.
Oh, this team at 141. If they go down, they're going to be sad.
See the danger creeping there on the low ground as many teams start to kind of slide into this zone here. They got to move a little further if they want to ease up the lobby pressure. It's costing them a lot of mats right now.
Yeah, a lot of the hard material gone. Just 7 pieces of metal left.
There's Sprite. There's my underrated win here.
Going to open up, free up a little bit of space.
I would probably prefer to see Acorn and Seek both win, though.
That side of the map.
I want to see a more stacked strands.
Rotate in, use that slow side rotation to their advantage. 87 though for Sprite, Boji, and Core. They immediately try to go to work, firing back.
Nice.
No shots really connect onto them. Instead, they're the ones that are doing the punching. Find an elimination and some. They get the damage, 194 above the threshold, but a momentary target from the rest of the lobby. As things slow down, the dust settles, they figure out that second elimination, and they're able to get that loot as a pick-me-up opportunity.
Very smart too. They grabbed that down body and tossed it back so they could secure the loot there.
Ty just gone? Yeah, Ty retired a few seasons ago, man.
See that there was actually loot being, you know, kind of generated here.
Oh, there's Chaos. Chaos looking good. Where's Acorn?
So little plays like that, giving them some room to work.
Hey, there we are.
That's all at the front side.
Oh, only 97 above though. 60 builds.
All the rest of the teams.
Good weapons for Pollo though.
Find their place in safely here. Meanwhile, Agers, Acorn, Pollo under some serious pressure right now, and still
43 above. Oh no.
The hunt for damage right now. A little worse for Wares. I'm not feeling too good about
lobby.
their points
Help the lobby.
just
Spray
yet.
him, boys. Spray him.
We'll have to
Get
make
damage
this
on the bodies.
before
Get
they
damage.
feel
Get
pretty
damn.
safe
Get
and
damn.
sound.
Oh god,
There
we
it
got no
is.
damn. We're
They're
below.
now officially below here, Jacob.
Get the damn.
Yeah, Pollo going down. Really
Yo, what the fuck?
Cost them a lot of time and damage, and now Surge is
Bro.
activated every 7 seconds.
Yeah, what's with this group's curse, man? Malibuca clicks and now Pollo. 3 of the literal favorites on the 2 regions, all struggling in groups. Like, what is going on?
Target out Polar, but again, missed opportunities.
At least Malibuca's group was stacked as shit.
DK going for some loot, and that's the player that they're going to try to target. He does have his full trio there nearby. They're basically dipping their toes in one after the next,
Nice.
after the next to try to get.
Oh my god, hit a tag.
But now it's go time.
Fuck him up,
6,
Aegis.
and they fall 33 below. Agers, Pollo, Acorn quickly running out
7
of time.
above,
It's
26
now or
below.
never.
I love this. Ager's making a big play.
Come
right
on.
now for his trio here.
Oh my God, what's happening?
Most aggressively. Unfortunately, he couldn't
Bro.
actually secure the box up there. Now, Pollo forced to also hunt here. This is such a
Bruh.
desperate spot for them
We're dead.
to be in right now. Pollo's gonna have
Pollo
to
the
just
goat.
risk it all. He
No.
boxes him and no, couldn't find the
Acorn the
follow.
solo clutch. Bro,
Seems like
what
the
is
shot
happening? We're actually
there.
fully crumbling.
12 above now.
Oh, no
He's
meme
gonna
shit.
sit
We're actually fully selling.
Acorn here. Acorn's gotta find
What
a
is going on?
chance. Steals a little bit of the med miss, but he knows there's a whole trio under there. Goes for the tree anyways because he has to. And they
I don't know what's
dive
going on.
him.
Genuinely, I have no clue what's
And I'm
going on.
not sure they
This is
even
not our day,
managed to
man.
earn much points there, but it is gonna come
We're like
down to the
160
last
something. It's
game
not
for the
terrible, but like
champions.
we actually are leaving it to game 5 for Acorn, Ages, and Pollo in a lobby where over half the lobby has never made a grands before.
King still just putting on a show. Just dominating teams towards the outside of the zone as high ground gets dropped down. That's Diego and Ralphie both go down. Polis.
I don't know what it is about the groups format, man. It's weird. Maybe like people in the they're just not used to people playing the way they do in the lobbies. I don't know.
But they're going to use this chance. They got all the information on the right side of the zone, and they're hoping this to be an easy one as they're only 169 above the threshold, losing one of their teammates along the way.
At this point, you know, the whole entire story is just getting tossed up in the air. Who's gonna win this game now is the real question.
That's the issue. That's what I'm saying. It's got to be something. There's no way this many good teams. If it was just one team, there's like an off day. But Clicks, Pollo, I mean Malibu, I don't know if I want to put them in that same boat because their group was pretty tough. But Clicks and Pollo are both struggling now. It's weird. Very weird.
Player walks into the wrong layer though, almost gets treated with a double shotgun surprise there.
Trying to float out the backside of zone, trying to catch somebody off guard. You see the low material count as DK, Polar, and Cynics find themselves in the clouds right now. High up on the high ground, 136 damage. It's not going to be a lot in terms of building confidence.
Turtle?
So
They're playing for 11?
the end game, everybody's going to have to peek.
Yeah,
out.
Mali's group was
Zone
pretty
closing
hard,
over.
so.
There goes more shots connecting. There goes the confidence building as they rise up the Storm Surge leaderboard. Even with it deactivating, they know they're in the driver's seat. With not
I
too
feel
many
like
teams
I
to
wonder
play
if it's an
that can
aspect
contest
of a
them.
lot of these
Even with
teams
no
being
one
used to
plays
teams
for
that
the
drop
backside
around
zone,
them.
he's
And I know that's going to make people say I'm talking about trading. But whatever your stance on trading is, whether you find it like, you know, whether it's like coordinated or not, teams are just not set up in the same positions. And I think a lot of these other tier 1 teams are used to people being set up in. And I think it messes them up a lot.
Point leaders by far and large, the most consistent team so far. Noah W plays solo, clutching up a top 10 right now.
All right, wait, how about this? Because you're like still chiming about this, bro. Wait, I'll give you $50 if Pollo doesn't qual. But if they do qual, I get to time you out for a week. Because I'm still saying you're just chatting shit. Like, I'm saying they're struggling, but I'm still saying there's no reality they don't qual. Deal?
For the rotate, starting to run low on material, but Noah is racking up placements here little by little.
Yeah, half of them already being achieved inside of the top 8. Just a little bit more will start to build that confidence that they can do it in the 5th and final game, whether it's win or consistency. But he's running out of resources. He's immediately just trying to move his way in. Sees Fishy on the other side, but he's not trying to just throw it all away in a high.
Because I'm like talking about them struggling, but I'm not saying they're not going to qual.
And gift him more placements.
Noah's so smart. Look at how good he's become. Just over time, you've seen him continuously improve himself, and even now, playing so smart. Choosing where to go, rotating beautifully, not taking, you know, excess storm damage here. Fishy's got his eyes on him, but still a top 5 performance nonetheless. Is a huge story for Noah W. Plays this team to stay on the leaderboard, stay in the conversation. Meanwhile, Cynics, Polar, and Decay. If there are any teams you want to win right now, it's teams with big.
Oh, this could be good for the points rolling down for the consistencies.
Still remain in a chance, if you will, for a top 5. So Jacob, here and now, it's all up to
if they
them
don't
to
come
win
top
this
3
game here,
consistency,
and it should be all wraps.
boo.
Yeah, 3v1.
Oh, this is what I mean, chat. You're going to come in with that many messages talking shit. You're not going to take that deal. You have no confidence that you think they're actually struggling. This is what I mean. You're just talking shit. There's no way you don't take that deal as is, bro. That is crazy levels of hating for no reason. You can't even back it up, man. Come on. Bro, I would fucking take that. Just on the off chance that one of them crashes or some shit, bro. It's $50. Who the fuck cares if you can't talk? That's a crazy deal.
Solo in that end game.
Half the chat's like, fuck, I'll do it. I'll do it. I love Acorn and I'll do it.
Acorn, Ages, and Pollo
Chat's like, I'll fucking do it.
Not earning any points that round is going to really bring us.
All right, let's see it. Let me check who was for the prediction checks. We didn't have this team on the prediction. Our first underrated win so far was Cynics.
securing high ground.
All right, who we had? So we had Chavi. Did I have Chavi on my prediction? I did. Chavi in second is going to take that one for the prediction. All right, chat. We'll make the giveaway Decay. D-E-C-A-Y Decay. Chat, I'm not offering that deal to any of you, chat. I'm just trying to make a point here about, like,
she's trying to put in, but
don't just talk shit when there's no repercussions.
Congratulations. That is their first FNCS finals appearance for DK. This is now going to be his second shot at taking that top spot, but we got to go ahead and throw it back.
Oh, we got the Grand's reaction. All right, chat. We got the win reaction. We'll wait till we go to the break because we got the break. Thank you, Merits.
It happened again. It happened again. Everyone's just ignoring this high ground. They're just, no one's looking up there. And you know what? For Polar, for Cynics to Decay, they got themselves a VR, right? Once again, you just look up and go, hey, Viv, no one's up there. I guess we should just go ahead and
Light Strike,
that. Let's
hey,
go
Misery
ahead and
Turtle,
claim a seat on the bus of
you know,
finals.
ready.
And what I love is these guys are already basically in that top 5, right? So with a top 5 team going through, that means everybody else is getting pulled up as well. That could have crazy implications on these standings.
Oh, my apologies. I thought he was talking to you, Vivid, but I'm now part of the equation. Yes, congratulations to this trio right here. I mean, it's interesting. When you look at groups 1 and 2, we kind of had a similar situation in group 1 where just no one was looking at high ground, and we even saw it today.
10 more seconds, chat. We'll call the Decay giveaway.
No one was on high ground.
I mean, hey, the fact that there is like
a little bit of a repeat of
the
that,
position, the fact that Acorn's even in the position where he might not make Grands out of groups is insane. I still think they're going to do it, but this is wild, bro. It's still a big underperformance, that's for sure.
As the zones start pulling even more, they lower their high ground just a little bit to be able to get those eliminations.
We'll call this, Chad.
And it's such a smart way to play high ground, especially when you're just down to a few teams left.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned how top heavy this conversation or this competition is today. In group number 3, we've had 2 of the most experienced teams. They've already qualified, right? They're not playing anymore. Those 2 teams specifically were
headphone warning for reaction, by the way. Okay, cool.
A couple of teams that were applying so much pressure to the high ground with those.
Wait, took the deal. You can't. No, I'm not through. No, my point's been proven. Homie didn't even take that deal.
Kind of understand that. Hey, nobody's
can't even back it up without even thinking about it. Come on, that's a no-brainer.
Kind of how that one played out for them. Able to keep their mats slow and steady throughout the rest of the game. Easy.
Thank you, Finn, with the tier 1 for 3.
That's a really interesting point there, Vivid. Without that pressure, I feel like
he did take the point. He literally tried to create. He had to wait 5 minutes and then create an ultimatum to make it even easier, chat. I don't think you guys are getting my point. If someone comes into my chat and shits on someone with 6 messages in a row, and then I give them the ultimatum of $50 to just put any money where their mouth is on their claim, and they have to even think about it, no. Get fucked. I don't think you guys understand the point I'm making.
Just chill, bro. Don't scream, bro. Top 4. We're the only trio.
Give me SMG ammo. I need SMG.
Toasty's teammates already telling him not to scream, man.
30?
This kid has shotgun, bro.
Who's off? Who's
He has
off?
0
Who's
builds.
off?
Alright. Look this. Spray this.
It's all duos, bro. 30?
1 HP. Dead. Nice. Relax.
3v1.
Chill. Reset. I'm getting doubles. I'm front side doubles. He's going out right. He's up. Trying to take height.
Someone on this team is known for overheating, bro. The other 2 are just like, I don't know the voices, but the other 2 are just like, chill, breathe, reset, chill.
Let's go! Oh my god! Just I did it for you!
Let's fucking go, baby!
I don't know what we're saying. I'm so confused. I have no idea what I'm hearing. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. One of them is definitely known for like overheating and throwing, though. You can just tell by the way they're doing it. The one who got knocked was one pump. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy pump. I don't know, Daz. I genuinely think it's an aspect of Surge. I think a lot of reason a lot of these teams are struggling is like, I think maybe for Clicks, for example, teams not rotating in and out of the black market and hanging around and doing weird stuff probably messed up Clicks, and they just had a couple mistakes like the triple death and endgame. I'm guessing for Acorn today, if I had to ask them, it's probably the fact that they usually get consistent Surge on Seaport, because Seaport would usually build up on the hill to the south and take a lot of tags against them, and because Seaport's con, that's not happening. I think that's probably messing them up. So it's usually stuff like that. Yo, Malwacky, thanks for the raid, bro. That's probably why. if I had to guess why there's some big teams struggling in these groups that are far less stacked than like Div 1 finals where they do much better, it's probably that element of like teams just not being in the same positions they normally are. P P just keys, so it doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter as long as there's a team for Pete to key this out, he's gonna key them. So I said they have 1.5 damn, but Pollo dies, they lost damn. Yeah, that game was just a bit of a brain explosion from Pollo just getting lurked on. But why they haven't like already won a game or qualled is, you know, probably more what I was talking about.
Welcome back. It's good to see you. One game left to go here before we round out this 10 group of trios that are making it to next weekend finals. My stress is through the roof. It's fine. It's fine. Everything
casting later today is gonna be interesting.
Fine. In case you're just joining us, last game number 4 on the day, Polar, Cynics, Decay got themselves a victory royale, which means the next time we'll be seeing them is in those finals happening next weekend. However, there is still much at stake here. We want a victory royale in game number 5 to qualify us to finals, or we need to be in the top 5 in consistency to keep the FNCS dream alive. In that last game, Pollo still looking really strong, right? We're doing okay, but I don't think the job is quite done.
Yeah,
was Akon telling his team to get them straight for this win? Depends how bad the vibes are. I think because of all like the bad vibes early this season with like, you know, Pollo and A just trolling each other. I think they just lock in. I think they just run through people. I'm not going to lie. I think A is probably just going to like make some dumb joke and be like, all right, guys, what the fuck are we doing? And then just kind of like lock in and shit on kids. Like they're way too good to be in this position.
That they want to be in, especially in game number 4. Game number 5 is what's left over for them.
What if someone lands on Pollo? That's probably one of the best things that could happen for them, man. They'll just shit on, that's their surge.
Yeah, kind of crazy. That's going to be the second game on the day where they've actually struggled with Storm Surge Reef 2.
Rest of you asked better. Yeah, I got hit with it the hardest, it looks like, man.
It's kind of crazy, right?
All right, so what do we got? So we've got our fight. We got our 4 wins. We got Khanada, Aussie, Reet, and now we've got Decay's team. And now our top 5 without a win. We have Silic, we got Acorn, we've got Polis, Noah, and then Makuda. So again, we're still was that 25? We're still 34 points. We're 34 points above consistency anyway. So not even doing like that terribly. We just can't like sell this game basically.
Points mean the difference right there. I would feel a little bit more confident, but we've seen that some of our top trios on the region can make this one very
I actually don't even need that many points
in this last game. We might have to have a very hard conversation at the end of the day.
30 points, right? Literally 30 points ahead of 10th place, which is essentially top 5, right? Like, if they make a mistake, 30 points is not safe, but look, it's Pollo, right? In Pollo, I believe. In Pollo, I trust. It's fine. Everything is fine. We wanted to also highlight
thanks to T1, bro.
Jargu and Kingling, who again are just performing so unbelievably. Kingling right now currently sitting as the #1 damage dealer, dealing the most damage out of group number 3. Man, again, this is looking like a dark horse to me.
100%. 2 6th places and 2 3rd places as well. They've been slowing down just a little bit from what we saw at the start of the day, but if 6th place is slowing down, then that's a pretty good speed to be at. They have no issue with Storm Surge. They're handling these low grounds so well. Going
makes game 5 exciting at least.
Great fights with good peaks. Just slightly off the cuff when it comes to going for that victory royale. You can tell that they're going for that low ground aggression, but there's only so much you can control when it comes to the low ground.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, it's like, you know, every single time we tune into them, I kept saying, you know, as we're watching the game, I was like, wow, this is like the best trio like in the world right now or something like that. They just always look like they're in such a good position. The rotates look like they're very, very good. Every single time we tune into some of those highlights right there, of course, if they have, you know, good standing as a trio and they're not just like running around with 0 materials, it's like, wow, they're all 3 kind of in a great position right now to look back on players. They're usually towards the front of the moving zones. Honestly, doing
Jargu's been big chilling out of Lone Wolf.
And, they could probably take game 5 off right now and still qualify through consistency.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, almost 100 points ahead of Atrix.
Yeah, it does help, Six. It does help.
But Zeke, what I'm looking at right now, even beyond this top 10, all the way down to 13th place.
This is their first grand? All 3 of them?
Points. That is
really?
Just an 8-point difference between 13th and 8th or 9th place there. You can just see how close. This is the closest we have had for the group stages in North America, Vivid.
Yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. As we go into game number 5 here, right? A little note. Group number 1, it was 100.
Decay's second? Okay, so Decay's done it before. Cool.
And then group 2, it was 203 on the North American Central region. So keep those numbers in mind. I mean, obviously this group can be a lot different, but yeah, we'll have to keep a close eye on some of our trios.
Okay, I'll stress for everybody. Don't worry, I got it. With one last game to go, it is do or die right here, right now. We do not want to take it to the last chance qualifier. We want to qualify here. How will this go? Only a single interaction for every single trio you see will determine whether they're going to finals, whether they're making it through with consistency, or whether they're taking it to the LCQ. With that being said, for the last time today, casters, take it away.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I'm thinking we're looking at a 180 or so point threshold. I can't put my finger on it, Jacob, but it feels extremely close right now.
Yeah, I really honestly don't care what that point threshold ends up being. I just hope we have a few points separating these teams, because that just means game number 5, last game of the day, the last game of all the
LCQ? Eval. 3 days away.
That's all I can really hope for being on this side of things.
And no, I want Noah to call too. So I want Noah, Seek, and Acorn to get across the line, bro.
From the top 10. So here we have it, game number 5. Let's jump on one more time.
This is it, the final countdown, the last game of the day, and most importantly, the last chance you have to skip that qualifier, the last chance qualifier, and go through the finals, whether if it's consistency or a big win. And really take note, with the leaderboard this close, if a team like Silly
He's only on Acorn to try and grease? Nah, I mean, Mars Meadows is not even good to land on like that, man.
The leaderboard even more.
Well, we are going to have to see it play out. This is the first time we've watched this Demon Dojo's fight go down here for Roxanne, Daxi, Tankacito. Game 1, they had a little bit of a highlight, spotlight put on top of them. Now, it's going to come down to a victory royale for them. Same for Blaster Tricks and Ioba himself as well. That's the beauty of this type of
Whipping out the Halo music? There's nothing really to whip out the Halo music for, man. Like, by in-game, we'll know who's qualled or not. I think basically out of, like, if Pollo, for example, makes endgame, and they've already qualled, so. Oh, sorry, I'm on feed. Sorry, chat. Sorry, no big names so far, though. Doesn't look like Acorn got conned.
Hunting, Daxi got some visuals here. Roxanne plays from the low ground. Beautiful little side angle there.
Yeah, but even without a shotgun, he's at least trying to cause a little bit of a distraction. The rest of the team can follow up just like this. 3v1 numbers game at its finest. Demon Dojo has now been claimed by Tankacito, Daxti, and Roxanne.
Oh, the Halo music, me too. But you can't use it too much, otherwise it loses this like excitement, you know?
Here to try to make something work in this last game. As we continue to look around the teams, some bubble teams inside of it, others going to be outside of it, and this is another one that I'm looking at. They already have 2 eliminations.
There's a play here? Yeah, where's the solo? They're not even really looking for him. Ooh, baseball bat, nice.
Get his teammates back the best that he can.
Nice, Antics, good stuff, bro.
Anything like that, that'll really change things. It's HQ.
Congrats, man.
Behind a pipe or a box inside of that door.
Oh, so it does look like his team was taken out here. We've seen a lot of HQ today, finding himself in all types of situations, but this is the worst by far, given that it's the last game right now.
Yo, what's up, Decay? Good shit, bro.
He's just holding on to hope right here so that he doesn't have to be sent to the last chance qualifier. They don't know where he's at, though.
And if they burst through the door on the other side, that's actually a little extra piece of cover for where he's actually hiding at. But they're not really going to give up on the chase. They
no way they don't know the cone trick, man.
That we saw today, that
come on, bro. The 72 hours cone trick.
Kind of really
yeah, if you don't know, if someone's sitting inside a cone, holding the edit, and you pull out your cone, it'll have a lock symbol if they're inside holding the edit.
Outer shiny and look for Surge elsewhere. That's going to be his best bet at not only staying alive, but getting his teammates back into the game to have a chance at qualification.
And he's got the right skin too for the floorboard matching, so I think he'll be all right. But Amplified, no, they're pretty aware.
That is true though, Shah. You're right. You can't just let go of the edit right as they go to check.
Either
but
way, we jump in with Acorn, Pollo, and Adrius. what did they earn? Like 6 points last game, if that. Very tough game for them, keeping it all the more interesting coming into the last round.
Making it spicy for us for the content, chat, for the content.
All those farm tags onto Dash and crew. They lost Pollo, but they managed to save him and kind of come back into it. But you know, just one mid-game decision going wrong, and all of a sudden they find themselves in a last-ditch effort to try to make it through. Meanwhile, Edge, Bobby, and Crook here fighting the usual happening at the north side of the map at the moment.
Actually chasing. I don't know how he got separated as a solo. He's trying to make his way back.
This is my prediction, maybe the underrated win. Not looking good.
Nice shot on the edge, but it's not going to be a real difference maker, especially considering the HP that he does have left, the lack of shields, especially that he's getting jumped on 1v3. Sprite's going to try to do what he can. Boji is now into the mix, so it will slow things down, stop the aggression right in its tracks, allow them to kind of heal up, reassess the situation. 13th versus 15th, Monster. Two bubble teams choosing to disengage out of this fight.
Need Seek to win for the Pred. Yeah, I'm surprised. I really am surprised by Seek struggling today. That was a weird one for me. They should have destroyed this crew.
Versus some of the other games we see might be a little bit of nerves involved.
I was gonna say, respect the Boji to the rescue right there. He just jumps in, saves his mans. It could have easily called to leave him, but they had the heart to stick it out. Go down as a team there. Little brief look at the standings here, Jacob, to really give us the bigger picture.
Hey, Spiggy?
Shiny Cat,
and
Fishy's trio, both just tied up for 10th and 11th.
Yeah, it always all happens at the same time, eh, Spiggy?
Letting you know that they're fighting for top 5 right now.
I pay an artist. Brennan?
Fred, Diego, Ralphie. Some speed bumps in their game so far today, but all it takes is one big one victory out to change things.
Look at the scan down.
Silic. A fight that they've been kind of floating around Magic Mosses and the black market all day long. That's how they've been able to kind of get aggressive, replenish a lot of their loot, and continue to kind of put pressure on a lot of these teams.
What the analysts doing right now, just chilling. They watch the games in a call together, and it gives them like an idea what to talk about. It kind of depends.
Just when you think you
Back in the day, there used to be like a staff member that would get you like replay packages to like build a package. I don't know if they still do that.
The knock is going to be solidified. He gets back-to-back shots. Now Diego plays his feeling the pain for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is tough for Diego plays his trio. Like, we've seen them fight a lot today, and you know, things kind of go back and forth. They win some,
this team's already
they've
close.
lost more than not. But Jargu, Silic, they have nothing to lose. They've made it. They have 250 plus points. This is the worst team, arguably, that you could be going against right now.
Literally nothing to lose. Essentially all but qualified. You know, they need to play the rest of this one out.
I've just realized as well, chat. I know why. That's why they sold chat. They were doing it for Nikov.
Players outside.
Pollo's just the W org member, bro. He just want to make sure Nikov got maximum content, you know? If they call in game 1, Nikov has no POVs, you know?
Je sais pas si c'est les États-Unis qui ont copié sur l'Europe ou si c'est l'Europe qui a
Pollo's just the go, bro. He's just a good ass org member, you know?
Over towards the black market, at least Ralphie was able to create distance from himself and both of those trios to at least give himself a chance at those reboots, but he has to make sure the zone matches it and pulls south. Otherwise, it's going to need a miracle.
I'm pretty happy with the little pickup right here. Couple points. Bobby, Crook, and Edge are going to start rotating wide around. See if they end up finding some action towards the Whiffy Wharf a little later. We know that there's been tons of fights over there.
Yeah, true. Nikov did only have a 30-minute stream earlier today for Akira. True. Nikov's like, please just qualify. Please just so I go to bed. Yeah, they have a delay on this. It looks like the delay is slightly more than the broadcast. What the hell?
So much so it's pulled them back to 148 now.
I can't tell which zone it is. I think they're roughly similar, yeah.
C'est quand même que dire s'il allait se foutre sur l'endroit là-bas. Au moins, on a une bonne zone qui est gérée.
Successful games.
Yeah,
it's less, okay.
Game 4, the ones that really stick out, they got a second place. I believe, a top 5 from Noah in that last game as a solo. Really taking that, being a hero to a whole nother level. And even though they're not necessarily qualified where they stand at points, they're giving themselves a chance to give 2 different win conditions. Obviously, win the game is going to be the big one we saw throughout the day, but the leaderboard, the second and most
Man, that's got to be so... Oh, the gameplay's always sent to on a delay so we can still talk to chat without the delay. That's right.
And if it were to end now, they would win the tiebreaker overall because you see them a little bit higher. It might have been the difference between eliminations, placement overall. They're a team that's, you know, taking these opportunities in stride and trying to run with them.
Gotta take the inch and turn it into a mile.
Bon, on est en...
Oh! Fuck.
On est en full chill. On essaie de mettre la storm de notre côté.
Okay, now we're fucking trolling. Bro, if Pollo died there, oh my god.
Vite, mon gars. Tiens, ça me rassure pas quand même cette hog. Après, tout à l'heure, on a vu quand il avait la hog, c'était vraiment violent.
Win our shots though.
Mais je suis tellement plus confiant avec un mec qui a une viseur point rouge.
I've never heard Nikov so quiet, bro. He must be so tired. Pollo in safe? Nope. That's why I watched him so much, bro.
And that's going to be their team.
It's game 5 and Pollo Acorn and Ages somehow need this game.
Towards the north, cut towards the east and try to make your way towards south.
I'm getting there, Tito.
There's less congestion on that edge of the zone.
Eulogy, Yusuf Phenom. Still set up right now. This early game, just again, passing by right now. Very calm before the storm here. Really looking like, Jacob, this is gonna...
Anything call me more than 180? Probably not, but they're not there yet. They're only 169, so...
Ah, même à corne, là, il a pris une balle en plus. Allez, ça va aller, les mecs. Mine de rien, c'est quand même très stack. Hein. Tout à l'heure, des mecs qui se font reboot.
Is Zafu with the prime?
Less than 10 points separated first on that leaderboard all the way down to 5th. And it's looking like that could be the difference maker here. 1 elimination, staying alive 1 placement longer. Chamonix Prom Sieges looking down. That's Chris Wager trying to leave Crime City. Kind of staggered so far back, trying to utilize as much as they can from the black market. But as soon as they see a team up there, they realize that's no longer going to be an option. They have to try to find what they need elsewhere.
No, it's just they're stuck now. Oh yeah, man.
Demons Dojo team still in the game. Sprite, Boji, Core maintaining control of the pump power position right now. Gonna bait out.
Hey, beefy with the prime 5?
Quesitos trio here into a bit of a skirmish. Asking you shall receive those shots that are coming in. They're entire.
Oh, they're not safe yet, Choppy. Like if Pollo dies right now, they most likely don't call, man. Like it's. I'm not just like farming it. Like they're genuinely not safe, dude.
La petite mini Chris Khanada qui a réveillé l'intégralité du chat. J'ai pas compris. Bah, sa POV elle a freeze et on a tous cru qu'il avait crash. Plus jamais. Je vous en supplie, plus jamais. Bon, est-ce qu'on n'a pas un peu de heal là? On n'a pas envie de se mettre un mini brume? Je pense qu'on va attendre quelques secondes d'avoir la zone sur nous. Je sais pas. Mais là, je t'avoue qu'un gros laser comme on en a pris depuis tout à l'heure, et on peut littéralement se faire one shot. Hein. On a seulement 100 HP, un peu moins même. Le à 90 et quelques. Super. Allez,
nice.
61. On prend.
Oh.
Les gars, faut pas oublier que Edgers et Acorn ils visent très très bien. Donc au niveau de la storm, même si depuis tout à l'heure Pollo il met quelques dégâts et t'as pas l'impression que c'est safe de zinzin. Faut faire confiance les gars. Hein. Les deux goats avec lui. Les gars,
shambles right? Nah, bro, they're in black market, man. They're never in shambles. I might have to remove that command merits. I don't think that deal's available anymore. Yo, don't you start yawning, Nikov. I'm tired too.
I like this rotate too, kind of playing super outskirts here, but there's a trio there, so shots start to come in. Meanwhile, we get to catch up right now with Pollo and Acorn. What's going on here? A lot of damage taken. Seems like Pollo doesn't have any white heals to work with. What do you think they're waiting for?
Yeah, with their white hills, if they don't have like a med kit or anything like that, probably use the splashes on the next rotate.
Like exactly, I do. I've been using for like 4 or 5 years,
them
man.
Early, as long as you're playing carefully. If you are Pollo, so you kind of use it, get the HP up right before rotation, and that way you get that little bit of a speed boost with the gold splashes. But they're already in zone, not much rotation for them to do. And you're seeing everybody towards the pump power becoming more and more stacked as time goes on. At first it was 3, then it was 4. Now I can probably see 5, 6, maybe even 7 teams all trying to make their way in towards pump power. And what some teams thought would be a slower rotation going north the way that they have all the way to east is not so slow of a rotation as they once thought, because so many teams mirroring and mimicking that rotation.
This is the beauty of like the randomized zones right here. Pump power all of a sudden becomes
really,
a
man?
friction
It's
point
insane.
where all up until
Le kit qui soigne Nikoff IRL. Le kit nous a un petit peu tous soigné, hein, les gars, je vais pas vous mentir.
Another one, game 1 real quick. They did, bro. It was looking like it was gonna be just a full standard group, man. We had what Khanada win, then we had Reet win. It was looking like, and then Acorn was looking like they were gonna win game 3, and then
J'aime bien le choix.
Acorn was our last like really big team that just
Le plein de heal,
kept
je
us
pense.
going until game 5, man. Hey, Cham with the prime.
En vrai, j'aime bien ce genre de gameplay. Pas encore, mais là, les gars, c'est trop bien. Regardez le heal qu'on a. On a 2 mini, une splash. On va aller chercher justement dans le sous-sol des ressources en plus. Normalement, on devrait avoir les golds pour, je pense. Regarde, on a un petit scan exprès.
like this type of positioning right here near center, still not quite all the way. However, one of the stronger spots, and if it bring your focus down to that map, you can see that they're actually interested in getting a little bit to the middle as well. Little team in the distance there, and Polis's team ever so patient.
Does definitely make clicks feel a bit better, at least, though.
Tout de suite. On lui achète pas, bien évidemment qu'on va en acheter un pour un frérot, non? Voilà.
Bro, the gold pumps are 800 gold. Damn.
On finit par acheter les grosses potes. On met une grosse pote en rab histoire d'être vraiment full. Et maintenant, on sort de la zone, les gars. Allez.
Allez. I know, Ferris. I'm hating it, bro.
Combien de délai? Ils ont 3 minutes de délai. Par rapport à l'Europe, je trouve que ça fight très peu. Ouais, c'est vraiment une vraie chose, ça. Ça fight très peu.
So chat, consistency to qual should be safe around like 180-ish, so we're definitely not safe here. Yeah, I can't say guarantee what it'll be because it depends so much on what other teams do, but if you just tuned in, if Acorn Ages Pollo die here, they will not qualify. So that's why we're paying so much attention. It's kind of crazy.
They're going to be trailing behind, just 13 damage below, make it 30 below now too. So pressure starting to really build up for these trios. Shots coming in from the distance. It's Andrew's team, like we mentioned. Anyone who's got those high ground spots, we're gonna have a major.
Ugh, where are the arms? What the fuck? There we go.
And look at this. Mock just trying to do his best here.
Et maintenant on sort. Allez les gars. On trace, on bombarde rapidement.
PTSD from yesterday, what, we clicked? Yeah, man. That shit was intense. Hey, Conan with the 6 months gift. Thank you, bro.
J'aime pas ça, ça joue trop. Le heal off c'est chaud. Ouais, mais en soi, il n'y a pas de heal off là, mon gars. Ça nous servira à rien le heal off. Si on est au heal off, c'est qu'on est qualifié. Donc là, dans cette game, on en a rien à foutre. Là, ce qui nous intéresse, c'est de se remettre bien, avoir du stuff. Il y a quelques secondes, on avait une splash, une mini. Là, on se retrouve avec 2 splashes, 3 grosses. On se remet bien en maths. La Storm, elle tient toujours. Sachant que là, on parle uniquement Pollo, hein, mais on a récupéré un pompe en or du côté d'un de ses teammates. On récupère des ressources en plus. Tout le monde se remet.
Nice, they're chilling here. This is a good spot. They're coming in dead side. They're good on surge. 5-5-5. This is great. I don't know, Reet. I mean, surely, Reet, you can watch me, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's so weird. I don't know how the rules extend for no restreaming. Because I've been given permission to watch Nikov, but technically you haven't. But like, if I'm watching like the Super Bowl and you watch me, I don't think people have gotten banned for. I don't know, man. So just for your background, Reet, I've only heard of one person getting banned for watching the Gentlemates broadcast, and it was a French watch partier because he was watching without restream permission.
Ils ont 0 zone, mon gars.
But I don't know if Nikov's now being more careful with who they give perms to now that they're streaming NA too. I don't even know.
Petite moto.
And it's all unfolding one step at a time here.
All right, chat. We just got to watch Acorn here, right?
Tranquillement. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On met une splash. On a un slot de libre maintenant du côté de Pollo. Un petit kit, on prend?
Oh, it was Solari. Oh, he got hit for the Solari stream. Okay, well, there you go. So Genomates might not have actually actioned anyone, so.
Utilisé très peu de mats. Allez, les gars. Maintenant, la Storm.
I imagine you'll be fine, Reet. I imagine you'll be fine, but it's up to you, man.
Depuis tout à l'heure, ça a bien tanké. On avait pris beaucoup d'avance. Mais là, notre petite session de 2-3 minutes hors zone à aller chercher justement le reste du stuff. Bah, la Storm, regardez, on est à 200 au-dessus.
Come on, chat. Here we go. 172. Play some points and rack it up. Come on. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. Come on, Acorn. Like, bro. How did we get here? We're cheering on Pollo to qualify out of the Mickey group in Game 5. I really don't know how we got here, but...
Il y a des mecs à droite, des mecs en face. Il y a des mecs dans la flotte, c'est un petit 30 damage aussi. On passe à 760, 780. Ça touche bien, hein, pareil, du côté des teammates. Edgers et Acorn qui font le taf. On a eu kill? Non, dommage.
I don't think so, Avion, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know how this works, chat. Nikov's a really chill dude. I don't think they're out here trying to maliciously just ban people for fun. I think it's truly only people that, like, you know, are just milking their stream and not supporting them, you know?
Frérot, piquez pas comme ça, je vous en supplie. Magnifique.
Magnifique. 178. Magnifique. Oh là là. Oh là là.
Zone. Oh là là.
Nikov's loving it, bro. Nikov's loving it.
Pas d'œil.
Oh là là.
Allez, spam, il en pèse, Check aussi derrière, là, dans le dos. On sait qu'il peut y avoir des petits ratus. Petits mecs qui ont envie de faire les malicieux.
I genuinely can't believe we got to this point, but hey.
Les fourbiqués même. Comme on aime les appeler.
Oh, it depends, Brando. I mean, I've been mad supportive Gentlemates since the very beginning, bro, so.
Une petite hauteur sur le pont, tiens. Est-ce que ce serait pas ça le plan? On grimpe un peu sur le pont, on se régale. Il a crash? Non, il a pas crash.
Is this going to Grands? No. I mean, like I said with Clicks, man, I don't think this is like... You don't take all the good performances and then one bad performance and say that's the new norm. Especially because, like, they're performing in lobbies against the players they're going into Grands against. It's in these random lobbies that we've been talking about earlier today, man. Whether it's, like, players just make weird decisions you can't counter. You're not used to getting surged on the teams who are in the same position because they're all in weird spots. Maybe they, like, super aggro on height like dumbasses and it griefs your game. Like, I'm looking at teams' performances against Grands players as an indicator for how well they'll do in Grands, not how well they play against kids not in Grands, you know?
Dans la box, super. Il est mort ou pas? Non, comment on l'a pas knock? C'est une blague.
187, though. We're chilling. 187. We should be chilling. W. We can speak French. I can. Oh là là, magnifique. Allez. Très bien.
Bon, on a récupéré un petit refresh. On n'a pas eu le kill par contre. Qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Full droite, on saute dans l'eau comme des légendes.
Oui.
Allez, chat.
Vamos? No, vamos.
Chaque point est important.
I really want an upset. I didn't want an upset. I'm glad this made Game 5. I mean, I'm glad it made us care something about Game 5, but much rather a good Grands.
Allez, petit midi-broom qui a été mis justement pour Acorn.
Dude, we're getting farmed on this rotate though, man. I'm saying we're safe, but 187 hasn't been enough in other groups. I just think in this group it will be enough. But honestly, I don't even fucking know at this point.
On continue de rester en low ground, c'est bien. Acorn, il fait le taf. Allez, passe à droite. On reste sur la pierre. On se follow bien. C'est une zone qui monte quand même, mine de rien. Faut pas rester en dessous. Allez, ensemble dans la même box.
Nice.
Oui, Edgers.
We're in.
Ok, on est ensemble. Allez, les gars. On se qualifie sur cette game, mon gars. J'ai pas envie de touter ce putain 7 sur 8.
Nikos, get into it. You tell him, Nikos. I don't know what the fuck you say, but you tell him, son. Yup. Freebie. That's a freebie. Witness check.
Le billet à liche.
Yup.
3 puntos. Allez, prends le body, on le ramène. Non, on l'a pas ramené. Il est où? Prenez-le, c'est le précieux.
I don't know what we're saying, but it sounds intense as fuck.
Mais qui a payé les zones? Allez, c'est pas grave, il nous reste des mats.
Oh.
C'est une belle rota flotte qui peut passer.
Come on, Pollo, go crazy here, bro. We got to win this game. Can we just win this game just so kids aren't shit talking in the YouTube comments for the next week straight?
Dans l'ombre, les gars. À gauche, full box. On chill, on chill. Nous nous excitons point. 24 remain.
193.
Faut rester tapis dans l'ombre, les gars.
How much score? We should be good here, chat. We should be good on this.
Tel le Batman.
Yeah, who's scripting these max pull zones though?
Allez!
Someone Epic thinks they're slick, man.
Allez! Il est passé derrière nous.
Oh shit! Full tree what? Wait, do a what? Do a what?
Encore, on a qui? Ils sont tous en HP, mais c'est pas possible. 22 remain.
21. 196.
Qu'est-ce qu'il fait lui dans la...
This game is incredibly unstacked, I feel like.
On va tellement les chercher, on va tellement les chercher.
Nice, let's go, Pollo. W199. Nikov wants it, bro. The amount of effort Nikov has gone to sign an NA player and then has stayed up to watch only that one player, bro. Like, I'm sure he was starting to get nervous. Ooh. Okay, now we're moving. Nice, there we go. Now we're moving.
C'est la finale, ça, mon gars. C'est le 8 sur 8 qui est en train d'être proposé. C'est kill, mon gars. 12 remain. Je vais réveiller toute ta famille, c'est pas grave.
French sounds so intense, it does.
On finira célibataire après cette game. Mais qui sait, on deviendra peut-être des légendes, hein, comme dirait Inoxtag et Michou.
Nice, come on. Little last game win.
Pas pour finir.
209, we did it, we did it, we did it.
Au final, le livre, on l'a lu à l'envers. C'était pas top 1 première game, mais la dernière.
Oh,
les skins bleus, vous me les arrachez.
Wait, who were the 3 blue superheroes earlier?
Ah, tu fais moins le
It was Dash, no! Wait, does Seek need to get this win? Wait, if Seek doesn't win this, does he not qual? Wait, I think they needed the win. I'm pretty sure Seek needed the win. Is Chaos still going as well? Is Noah still in here? I hope Noah's still in here. 3v3.
Oh lolo.
Oh lolo. 3v2. Wait, it's not 3v3. It's 3v2. He sounds like Rafiki. Does he not sound like Rafiki when he laughs like that? That was the name of the monkey in Lion King, right? For the guy which does like the Simba. I swear he sounds so much like Rafiki. W.
Oh là.
Oh là là.
Est-ce qu'on va stresser? Absolument pas. Quelqu'un a du stress dans le chat?
Très bien. Alright, well, they finally got the fucking win. God, it shouldn't have been that close, though. It should not have been that close. 168. I don't think Phenom's got enough here. We'll do the prediction in the V-Bucks in a second, chat. I want to see. How many points is Veer on? How many points is Veer on? There's Noah. Noah, mate. I think Noah qualled. I think Noah qualled. Oh my god, I think Noah qualled. I see Noah still in this. That's got to be enough points. I think Noah did it.
Now has a chance here to go ahead and just recycle this chunk.
Yo, W Noah.
Noah W plays is still
192. That's got to do it. 196. Do it, Noah. Good stuff, Noah.
And he is fighting for it. 1v3.
Heck yeah.
Previous season champions, Pollo, Agers, and Acorn have managed to claw
back
here in the last game. Noah falls in second, and they are walking their way through the victory lap now. Hello,
W.
send them on through. Agers, Pollo.
All right, chat. We'll make the V-Buck giveaway Acorn just to fuck with you guys who didn't listen to the thing that I just said about the giveaway. Oh, you guys kill me sometimes. It's too funny. All right, is that how is it not updated yet, bro? The delay's not even that long. How is this not updated, bruh? What? Is Fortnite tracker that broken? Or am I stupid? No, I'm not stupid. How is it not updating? I swear. There we go. All right. So we got Ages. So we had Ages, Cynics, Reet, Aoxy, and Khanada. And then our top 5 on consistency without a win. We had Silic, Noah W plays W, Eulogy, J, Catman, Seek, Dash, and Veer missing out by 1 place. But it's not even like, I say 1 place, it was like 20 plus points. But damn, that is a rough day in the office. They brought it back at the end, bro. A 2nd and a 4th. Don't know what they did in the first 3 games though. They're gonna be pretty upset with that one. They definitely should have got a top 10 here. Damn.
In the best showing possible, and this was an
So chat, you guys want to win some V-Bucks? Have to win Acorn in chat. They did it. They did it. We did it, baby. I mean, there's just no world they don't qual, right? Like the fact they made it close is insane, but.
In the end there, shout out to Agers, Acorn, Pollo. The game 5 victory coming out of game 3. You know, just put a little ribbon, a bow on it, if you will, Jacob, for us here.
Now, it's really exciting to see because the amount of speed bumps, their adventure that they went throughout the day today, even falling early in that last game, number 4, it's just impressive that they can kind of dust themselves off, pick themselves up. There were zero worries for them throughout the day.
Yeah, dude, we'll see.
Looking at some of the Twitch chats during the break, Monster, they say, how are they struggling in a lobby like this? Guess what? To them, it's just practice.
Oh my God, he was looking at my chat.
Which is
On his chat was saying that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, listen, this has been a wonderful Majors weekend for us.
All right, 5 more seconds, chat. Type Acorn in chat, and then I'll call it.
And of course, Jacob
Last one for today, but we'll have more going for the last chance finals. Don't worry.
Thank you guys so much. Fantastic cast on the day. Now, please rest your voice. We've got finals next week to get hyped up on. Man, Acorn, Agers, Pollo finally getting, you know, it's better to get it than not at all. You know, let's go ahead and shake the whole standings up, you know, because going in, as our casters talked about, they were already in that top 5, right? So now these leaderboards are a little crazier than initially anticipated because with them moving up and
what's
out,
up, Jacob?
now we could be looking at another.
Oh my God, it was that chat.
Just make their way in.
Such a night and day performance from this trio, and it's something that we were expecting.
Told you about rest of your voice. Bro, I'm casting a tournament later today, and I'm casting last chance finals, bro. I ain't rested shit, but I should be.
Such a good job of making sure that
I don't know how I'm going to cast later today. I'm going to be coughing constantly.
Properly. Acorn, Agers, and Pollo, you know, they really just wanted to give us a show, Vivid. They wanted to make sure that we had 5 full games of them.
See, Buzz?
Yeah, and I mean, just strictly at face value and not, you know, taking 3 hours to go ahead and VOD review some of the games right here. Remember, in game number 3, I was like, there was a couple things.
Jacob, bro.
Like, you know, not prioritizing
Jacob, that was the goofiest group I think I've ever watched.
Disconnected as a trio. This game,
you guys did a great job of staying locked in and casting out and making it exciting, because I would have, bro. Oh my lordy.
Actually, Acorn kind of going ahead and kind of leaving Agers and
a lot of things happened. We'll just say that.
Their tarp to actually find some of these eliminations. You know, Kelly, you talked about it at the start of the day. We saw trios throughout some of the other groups. They adapted instantly from game to game. And I feel like this game kind of highlighted, you know, Acorn, Agers, and Pollo fixing up some of the mistakes that they were making earlier in the day.
So wait, you've made back-to-back grands now, but you're still 0 earned? I'm not even trying to smack talk. That should not be possible.
Next weekend.
That's sad that's even possible.
Looking very, very clean and pristine.
Ooh, I'm so excited, man. I'm just thinking, like, you know, groups 1, 2, and 3, the fact that we have finally know like which trios are coming out of those groups. We still have the LCQ, of course, but just think about some of those big names we get to see finally come together under a single lobby next week. Man, it's exciting. Okay, let's start to talk about the victory royales. Who won through on today? Maybe you're tuning in super late. Happy Easter. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching the tail end of the show. But in game number 1, it went on over to Khanada, Bolts, and Sphinx. Game 2 is Reet, Coop, and Curly.
Yo, what's up, Chaos? How's it going, bro?
3, Aoxy, Jojo,
good stuff,
Fishy,
Chaos. Good stuff, my friend. Well done, well done, well done.
Polar Decay. And finally, right here, Agers, Acorn, and Pollo get themselves the victory royale to close out the day. So, naturally, the next question becomes, okay, Zeke, nice VRs, that's dope, but there's still a top 5 in consistency, right? Yes, there is, Timmy. Don't worry, we will get to that.
There you are, K6, the 2 over 2.
What do you guys think after those 5 games? I mean, I just am so excited.
Finals Friday, should be Saturday, Sunday, I think.
The hype is building.
100%. The story that we've seen, not even just from group stages, but all the way back to the play-ins, all the way back to when Season 2 started, has just gotten me so excited for these Major 2 finals. We have so many incredible teams, so many incredible storylines that kind of need to figure out what happens at the end of Season 2, you know? There's just so much going on in North America Central, and only 3 spots to the Global Championships, Vivid. So much is on the line.
Yeah, a lot has happened, right? We now have 30
you deal with the private Thursdays for 3 years.
The highlight of the day for me. I always like a statement, especially leading into the finals. It's like Group 3, you kind of have that little bit of an because you are the last group. So this
11,966. You guys are crazy.
Khanada's trio coming out and winning game number 1. I feel like that was really a statement.
Hey, Bunny with the private 19. What's up, Bunny?
Very, very good going into the finals. It's probably my favorite moment of the day.
I have a favorite moment, and that's got to be the fact that Noah Plays made it in through our top 5. Let's take a look at the top 5 who made it through consistency.
Leaks.
I am so impressed. We'll, of course, talk about all of these trios in just a moment. I just want to highlight
my
Noah
favorite,
Plays,
Shiny Cat.
Paired up with Chaos
W
and
Shiny
Kaz.
Cat.
Even that final few moments, man, we saw so many clutch moments out of Noah today. Even in this last game, to just be 1v3ing against Agers, Acorn, and Pollo to make it as far as 3rd, right? 3rd place as a solo. The impact, the solo clutch points alone are crazy.
Yeah, those solo clutches from Noah was absolutely phenomenal, but also watching Noah, Kaz, and Chaos on the low ground, grabbing Elam after Elam has been so impressive as well. Regardless of if they're playing passively or aggressively, Noah, Kaz, and Chaos definitely seems to have a plan
He was so unserious. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love watching this trio as well. And listen, for anybody that kind of was watching FNCS throughout the years, may not recognize Chaos is actually going to be Chaos Gaming. I remember his initial pop-off with the augment, right? That mythic pistol that we loved seeing seasons ago.
He's on the mouse and keyboard now, too.
Love the storylines kind of coming out.
The input swap.
What a day for this.
Back-to-back grands after swapping inputs is very impressive. Went from controller, then made back-to-back grands on mouse and keyboard.
On the trio, give him the highlight right there. But qualifying the finals, it's got to feel good.
Absolutely. And of course, Silic, Jargu, and Kingling. I mean, man.
They played great all day.
I wish that I could just shake your hand because, like, man, you were insane today. That trio was insane today. But I'm getting word there's actually something a little more insane, and that is an interview we have lined up with none other than
have they done
Khanada,
interviews?
who
Wait, what the hell? Khanada interview?
Khanada
interview? No
What's
way.
Up, Khanada? It's great to see you, man. How you doing?
Man? I'm doing great, man. How you doing, man?
man,
Khanada,
go, man.
I mean,
go, man.
anytime we see you play, bro, it is always electric. I'm so thankful that you're here with us. So, bro, how does it feel?
Really, Jacob?
It's
nice.
not just 25 out of 25. It is 26 out of 26 finals appearances.
Out of 26.
How does it feel?
It feels, you know, like it's like another day in the office, but not really. You know, it's like you gotta lock in sometimes, but like today we did really just lock in. You know, like.
They played really well, to be fair. That was such an easy game one.
When we first formed, it was really looking bad at the start, right? Like, we were not looking great, everything. But I really do believe us playing bad at the start, not qualifying for, like, these eval tournaments and everything, got us locked in. We voted, we talked it over. And especially, I want to have a huge shout-out to Dignitas because we are also all boot camping in the same house right now, all zero ping.
Okay.
So vibes are high.
W dig.
Like right after that win, literally got together, hyped us, like, you know what I'm saying? It was all good.
I love that. I love that so much. Khanada, for me, what's so hype is that this is now the second major in a row where you win the first game out of your groups.
Vivid being in the water is really confusing my brain. What is it about just going for the
victory royale that you do so well?
I mean, one thing that was super important.
It's definitely not nerves.
Last season,
they come out confidence, which helps so much.
Last season, so we had height, and we played it really high. But this season, we realized that height was more griefed, and it was like a lot of teams were looking up for it, and even in the other heats as well, height. If you held it first moving, it was really hard to win the game. But later on in the game, if you looked up at it, and they had no mats or they were shambles, it was way easier to go up and take it and win the game later on in the game.
Thank you, Sam, with the T1.
Is literally what we did, you know?
Yeah, I'd love to hear that from you guys. You know, you mentioned right there when you guys first formed as a trio, you know, the vibes weren't high, not necessarily feeling confident. All right, so you come out, group number 3, you win game number 1, turn face towards finals now next weekend. How's the confidence feeling? How's the trio feeling going into that?
It's feeling a lot better. I feel like at first we had a lot of miscommunications, not a lot of synergy or chem built up because we just formed. But after today, we all like locked in, did everything that we were talking about.
Shout out to T1.
Each other, playing together. And for next week, I'm really confident for this trio. I want to call LAN as soon as possible, and I definitely do think this trio right here, we can easily qualify for LAN.
Ooh, the confidence. Let's go.
Okay, speaking of LAN, I mean, bro, you're already going to a LAN. FNCS
Pro-Am.
Yes, sir.
Duoed up with Stable Ronaldo.
Yes, sir.
Can we expect
That's such a good duo. That's such a good duo, bro.
Also,
Shadows, Joshua, aren't they going to be playing the reload eval practicing too?
Say that. He's gonna be there.
That's awesome. Are you excited about Pro-Am?
Oh, I'm so excited because like I know there's like a break for like tournaments or like FNCS for like the next month and a half or whatever. And then I'm gonna go to Pro-Am, have fun with Ron, of course, try to win that. And then I'm gonna go on like a little 2-week vacation to Korea, you know, just chill out. So if I qualify LAN this season, vibes are gonna be all-time high, you know?
I love that, bro. Well, of course, thank you so much for your time, man.
Good interviews,
an honor and a pleasure to talk to
always
you.
good interviews, man.
Where can the fans find you?
Khanada on Twitter, Khanada _ on Twitch, and Khanada on YouTube. Those are all my socials.
Love it. Khanada, best of luck. We can't wait to see you again in next week's finals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. See you then.
All right, chat. They're going to do the close off now, and I am very tired, and I need to nap before my tournament. So, chat, I'm going to end now. But, again, I've explained a couple times today, chat. I'm going to be live again in, I know it's pretty late for a lot of you guys, half an hour. That makes it 11. 5.5 hours. I'm going live again. I'm hosting a $15,000 tournament today, courtesy of Epic. They sponsored a tournament where I've got 40 of the best OC players. We're running a squad reload cup, 4 games. $15,000. So it's gonna be good. We've got like Alex is playing, Othie's playing, Volks is playing, Gaze is playing, bunch of the biggest OC players. And again, I haven't watched OC in a minute too, so I'm actually very excited for this. Should be fun. So if you guys aren't here, I'm also gonna be making a YouTube video on it in case you guys want to watch that. That probably won't be out tomorrow. Probably be out like in a couple days because we've got to get edited and like, you know, get permission by Epic, all that stuff. But I love y'all. Thanks for the fantastic part of stream today. Now, if that's too late for you guys, I might be live tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not going to get up for EU. I need to sleep in so bad. I've gone up at midnight 2 days in a row. So no EU tomorrow for the Reload Eval Cup. I might get on for NA, hit a little cheeky VOD review, try and like figure out what the meta is to keep practicing, but we'll see. I might also take it off. It's been a lot of streams. So peace out. I love y'all. I'll see you guys later tonight. Bye, chat. Have a good one.